Hello, everybody. How's it going?
Howdy.
Before we really get into it, everyone has to let me know if the audio levels are all right. I upgraded my mixer yesterday, and I hopefully have everything working the way that I should. And hopefully I will never need to touch it to do really anything after I get it set exactly the way I want it to.
We say that all the time, don't we? We'll never have to touch this again.
That's the hope. But I think that in this case, it could be very much true, or at least super close to being true. Because there's a lot of knobs that I don't, and a lot more inputs, so that I don't have to constantly make certain inputs for other things.
Well,
Okay,
at first everyone was saying audio is great, which sounded great, but apparently I am a little loud compared to you.
Okay, well I can turn you down a little bit, and I can turn mine up a little bit.
Yeah, it sounds like the consensus is that I am loud and you are fine.
Yeah. Well, it should. I can probably turn you down. I can definitely turn you down a little bit. And it's not a problem, but it should be good. It should be good. I mean, I'm looking at the levels, and it's averaging for me. It's right around -5, which is good. I mean, if I'm talking a little bit louder,
that sounds ideal.
Yeah, and yours is too. So, no, there's no peaking going on, but also it's not too loud, but it's not too quiet. So I think that we're just gonna ride with it, see how it goes. So there's Sanderson.
Sanderson.
I'm still battling this cough. I had it last week, and I can't seem to shake it. My brother is the one who gave it to me, and he had it for long after he was actually sick too. So, but we'll see. I mean, yeah, it says levels can't be trusted because the pitch your voices are the way you speak it. You can give the same dB, but person will still sound louder. I mean, it is what it is. But
that's always a weird thing for me to wrap my head around. But as a person who has a voice that sounds very different from everyone else's, I know this to be true.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna play some Ys 3 Wanderers from Ys tonight.
Wanderers from Ys.
Wanderers.
I watched Drum stream the Super Nintendo version of this a long time ago.
Oh, really?
And I've never really done anything with a non-Othenfelgana version of Ys 3.
Yeah.
Aside from just tinker around a little bit, what's interesting. You probably know this, but I don't know if you forgot. But this game has a 480i mode for no reason.
Yes, and I actually tried enabling it, and it confused the retro tank. It was
interesting.
It was just giving me a no signal, at least with the Magewell.
Interesting.
I heard something about it, it might be weird for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, I would believe that any 480i on the Genesis is weird.
Yeah. And yes, I am playing the Genesis version because I've heard that it's considered the best. It's certainly the most expensive these days.
Yeah, I mean unless it's gone up in price, the Super Nintendo version is surprisingly affordable. I don't have it.
I have that one too, but I have I have not played all the way through any of this version. So
do you feel like you'll like it?
Yeah, I think that I'll like it.
I've always been a bit afraid that I wouldn't like
it. I feel as though it's probably better now than it was at the time. I think a lot of people were disappointed at the time with it, because I remember seeing it and being like, oh, why did they go with a side-scrolling view? Because it just did not
I mean, it's
feel
just
like
the Zelda 2 of ease, except, I really like Zelda 2. I like Zelda 2 more than Zelda 1. But I've always been a little afraid to give the same credit to Ease 3.
Yeah. I see that Christian Waters is saying this goes for about $150 complete in box now.
Ooh.
I feel very lucky that I got it when I did then, because I think that I may have paid $60 for it.
Yeah, I
maybe
mean,
3 years ago.
Yeah, it was pricey even a while back. I wonder what the Japanese version goes for.
I have no idea. And it was the last version of this that I bought. I bought it because I thought, I have all the other ones.
Before you get going, once you get the game up on screen, I saw in our Discord channel some people were curious if you'd show some of the new RetroTink scanline modes.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
I have actually been really enjoying those lately. Like actually, normally I'm not like an artificial scanlines guy, but I mean, the stuff we've been getting with the RetroTink 5X, the new updates, and then the 64 digital. I mean, we're in like a golden age of artificial scanlines on original hardware right now.
Yeah.
The one that I like the best is intensity modulation 50%, which is very similar to like Ultra HDMI and N64 digital, minus the vertical scan lines. Also, there's a newer-ish option called pre-emphasis filter.
Right.
And if you set that for like -3 or -2, I like to use -2. It looks really good with scan lines. It just kind of softens the picture a bit to make it a little more CRT-like.
Just got my brother's name in here. Hang on. It's saying that you're Adam right now, because I was going to see if I can make this full screen, because I couldn't see my menu because of the way I have it set up here.
Yeah. And that'll make it easier for people to see the scan lines. It might not even show up very well on the stream, but it's worth a try. While you're fiddling with that, there was $5 from Shadow Mask. Thank you. And there is on here. It's not called Shadow Mask, but it is called Slot Mask, which I'm not sure if there's a specific resolution. Maybe it works best with, but it doesn't. It doesn't really. That one doesn't really work for me, but I like a lot of the others. But anyway, Shadow Mask says Ease 3 was released for PC 8801, PC 9801, MSX2, X86000, or is it 100? I don't know. There's a lot of zeros there. TurboGrafx CD, Famicom. That's right. I forgot there was a Famicom version. Super NES, Sega Genesis, and the PS2. Really? Do you know much about the PS2 version? Is it like a
almost all the Ease games got remakes on the PS2, and I'm not sure if any of them are considered to be that good.
Really? I mean, are they like visually overhauled?
Yes, completely. Yeah. I remember thinking that Ease 3 looks pretty cool on the PS2. I have the PS2 version of Ease 1 and 2 Eternal.
That slot mask is not showing up on the screen very well. Sadly.
Yeah, I'm not really.
But I don't really like that one. Like, I wonder if there's a specific resolution that it looks better with.
I'm sure there is.
I like Aperture Grill more than PVM on here. I personally don't really agree with the PVM looking like a PVM. I mean, maybe I agree with maybe an 80s PVM, but I think the intensity modulation is the one that looks like a PVM to me.
Yeah.
I do like the Aperture Grill one and the PVM one, but I like Aperture Grill more than PVM. But to me, it's like kind of a consumer CRT look, whereas intensity modulation is kind of a PVM look to me. But I don't know if these are really going to show up all that well on the stream.
Yeah, I feel like the PVM, you can see too many, like, I guess, vertical scan lines too. It looks too much like there's
Right, which is something I feel you can't see on PVM, at least not like 90s PVMs, maybe 80s PVMs or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to look up this PS2 Ease 3 because I have no idea what it looks like.
So, do you recommend changing the what is that? The
pre-emphasis filter?
Yeah, the
I like
preamp.
I like -2.
What is this like? What's going on with my remote? My remote's not working very well here. It's just, there it is. So if you put it, like, you're saying if you put it on like -2?
Yeah, I like -2. There's a video of the PS2 Ease 3.
Maybe my battery is dying on here. No, I mean, it doesn't seem like it. There's just not.
You don't have it, do you?
I don't. No. I don't know why my remote's just not picking up very well. It could be just like this one's crappy.
I can't decide what I think of this from a brief glimpse here.
I asked Mike Chi what remotes that he uses, and he linked me to them. So I bought like 3 of them just because I have a real problem where I will set something down and I will forget where it is for like a really long time, to the point where I had to start saying when I was setting something down that I was using, I have to say it out loud,
you've told me about
so that I remember where it was. But sometimes, like, if I can get these remotes for, like $8 or whatever, I bought like 2 extra ones just so I have them around. And it's like, this one might not be working that well.
I mean, I don't know. This PS2 version
Let me try a different one.
looks like it could be okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little cheap looking. I mean, it kind of looks like a WiiWare game. It actually looks better than a WiiWare game.
That's like, a pretty good description, I think, is that it looks like a WiiWare game.
Yeah. I mean, it's like...
There, this one works better.
It's
so
like...
you say if I put it at -3, and that definitely... and then go through them from here. You said
the pluses are sharper. I'm not really sure if there's like a real use case for them. But I like -2. -2 feels like the sweet spot to me. But -3 is pretty good too.
So if you do that, if you put like, so you like the, what is it that you like? The slot mask?
Intensity modulation 50% with -2 pre-emphasis filter.
All right.
I think that's a sweet spot to me, but it's probably not going to look that great on the stream.
Yeah, but it does look good. Softening it like that looks pretty.
So on the, I'm going to mention this in the projector video, but on the newest projector that's in the video, it has this mode, these like different game modes that are supposed to be like for playing FPS games or for playing RPGs or for playing sports games. And I almost always leave it on the RPG one because that's the one that has like correct colors.
Mm-hmm.
But the FPS one has like kind of a higher gamma so that like shadows appear lighter so that you can like see enemies in the shadows better or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I sort of discovered a really neat side effect of that mode is that it's great. It's like perfect for compensating for scan lines.
Oh,
like it brightens the image exactly the right amount. So it's kind of amazing.
When you say perfect, I can't not hear the Street Fighter 2 announcer say perfect. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start the game.
Yeah, go for it. There was also a little bit ago, there was $5 from Jonathan Henson. Thank you. Saying, finally, after 3 weeks, our ransomware struggles and flights to Houston are coming to a close. Been looking forward to a stream all week. Normalcy. Well, yeah, that's right. I remember you were struggling with that. That was like a few weeks ago, wasn't it? So that sounds like that was an extended ordeal. Didn't know that was going to involve you traveling around too. Jeez. There was $2 from Drake5017. Thank you. Saying, are you excited for the Wayo Records release of Ys 3?
I went to pre-order it, and it was sold out. At least from the place I was looking at. It was like cartridge something. And it's like $100. I was thinking about it, though, but I did just buy or pre-order the from Streaming Arrow Records. They are doing a couple of Ys soundtracks, and I think one of them is a new one called Fields of Ys, and it's a single record, but it has 9 tracks. It has the overworld theme from every single game, which is pretty cool. And I'm like, I will buy anything with Sunshine Coastline from Ys 8 on it, and that's like.
So what version then of Ys 3 would the soundtrack be based on that?
Oath and Felghana. But the soundtrack that Drake 5017 is talking about?
Yeah.
That's the Oath and Felghana.
So the remix, because Oath and Felghana also has like several other versions you can play.
Right. I wonder if I can skip this. I can. I love this town theme.
We got £5 from Richard Webster. Thank you, saying finally catching the stream as it's live from the UK. Appreciate all the work you do. Well, thank you.
You might want to get in bed.
Yeah, we always appreciate it when folks in Europe can catch the stream live, because it either means you're just a night owl or you're having a bad day being up this late.
I love this town theme.
Oh yeah, it's
definitely
great.
one of the best town themes of all time. Like, I love this version of it too. The one in Oath and Felghana is really good, but this one, it has so much more energy than it does in Oath and Felghana, where it's more of
I kind of like the sky gradient here for some reson.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I like that they do this, where it goes into the credits. When I was a kid, right. Like when a game would have credits like this, it was like the most epic thing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, when
Final Fantasy 6.
Final Fantasy 6, man, it like that is the most memorable of like games with opening credits that I can remember.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like, I guess especially at that time when games felt kind of like a small thing, and movies and stuff were so much a bigger deal.
Yeah.
I guess it was like feeling like it legitimized it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just like, whoa, this is the people who made it.
Yeah.
Like, I think maybe in the PlayStation era, I can't think of any specific examples. Maybe Final Fantasy 9? I think Final Fantasy 9 has Final Fantasy 9 I think has like opening credits. I see Richard Webster saying had a longer than planned nap early on, so I guess I'm starting my day. It sounds like an early day, but I wish you success in it. There was $10 from our good old friend Shinjan PV.
Oh, thank you.
Saying, good game choice. Love this soundtrack on Genesis. Next time you boys are in or around New Jersey, I'll make you some naan and chicken tikka masala. That sounds
great. I don't know if you saw
unbelievably delicious.
If you saw the discussion in the Discord this morning, there was like some glitch with Patreon where it said, it wouldn't say like how much money is like the amount of money like being made is showing up. So they had like a $sign and a capital N, lowercase a, and capital N, and just like doesn't say anything. It's just like a code mess up. And I was like,
I saw someone reply to that and say, "It's none your business."
Yeah.
That made me laugh.
Please leave me alone. Whenever I talk with a young man like you, I cannot help but remember my grandson Roy. Fine.
There was $2 from Drake5017 again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, what do you guys want to see in an Ease 10? Much love. Well, I still have yet to play through 8 or 9, so I don't have the clearest view of how the series has evolved most recently.
Yeah, I think that I could stand to not have the tower defense stuff in the next game.
Oh, is that only in 9 or both?
Yeah, it's an 8 and 9.
Oh.
I could buy some Harb. This is all I want. I want to buy some Harb. This Harb is 100 gold. It's got to be a herb, right?
It's gotta be.
Thanks. I'll buy that Harb.
I want this Harb.
But I would like to see a remake of Ease 5 before Ease 10.
Yeah, I think that'd be smart. I think that'd be smart. I need to finally get around to buying a Super Famicom copy of Ease 5 so that they'll make an Ease 5 remake. Because, all this time I've been putting off buying Ease 5. The fates will conspire to finally do a remake of it as soon as I buy it.
Yeah, it is. It is a Harb. But then the equipment says Herb. It says herb in there. So it's just I guess it's just in the shop. The shopkeeper is misspelling. So.
I see Paul Bergkamp saying tower defense is never a good mechanic unless the game is a tower defense game. But I think I said it last week. I had a weird amount of fun with Fort Condor in the Yuffie DLC. I got the trophy for being the Grandmaster in it even. So it was I played Pixel Junk Monsters early in the PS3 days, and other than that, I've had very little exposure to outright tower defense games. But Fort Condor I thought was pretty fun. I hope they bring it back for the next full game, because I be honest, I liked it more than like the card-based mini games. Like I just had more fun with it. It's obviously filling that sort of space for the game, because you collect like different troops and things to use with the game. See Drake5017 saying would love to see you dudes do an Ease episode of MLiG. And
I have a portion of one written.
Yeah, it would probably have to be like different eras of the series, like divided up, to be reasonably tackleable.
But seriously, that is like a major episode that I've wanted to do for a long time.
Oh so, yeah, probably want to do it as much as you want to do the Fancy Star stuff.
Yes, but that's a way bigger.
It's a lot bigger.
Yeah. Oh, did I just shoot? Can I skip this? I accidentally hit.
I see Shinjan's mention of tikka masala has really shot off a lot of curry talk. I see Richard Webster commenting that interesting thing about curry in the UK, our curry is tailored to British tastes, which, something that I've heard that's interesting is that supposedly curry was introduced to Japan via the British rather than via India or anywhere else, which I thought was interesting. I loved the curry I had in Japan. Like I could eat that stuff every day. and it's different from like any kind of curry that you can get in the U.S. Like American Japanese restaurants just don't have curry. Why'd you reset the game?
I accidentally started from the beginning instead of loading my save.
Oh,
you can save anywhere you want. Yeah, I mean you die pretty quick. Like in any Ys game, like right at the beginning, I guess in the early ones, you can die pretty quick, but you can save anywhere you want in this.
Do you know what save technology this uses?
I think it uses the battery. I think I may have replaced the battery.
This strikes me as a game that would have an EEPROM, but I know there's not that many on Genesis.
Right. No, I'm pretty sure I have this one backed up.
Why I say it strikes me as a game that would, I don't know. Do you know if you replaced this battery?
Yes, I did. I replaced the battery.
Okay, well then it's definitely battery. If you did.
Yeah. That's what I said. But it's just been a long time since I did that. I don't know what the RP off is, or if that's just. I'm gonna level up here pretty soon.
Supposedly, chicken tikka masala was created by an Indian chef in Scotland. Sounds about right.
So I already leveled up. No? Oh, it doesn't say. Oh, it doesn't say. What does the RP stand for? Maybe it's just magic points?
RP.
Yeah, it just says
22 off.
Yeah, I don't really know what it means.
Is it something to do with...
Look at that. He's just crushing
Oh,
me.
is it like ring? Like a ring accessory or something?
Ring. That might be what it is.
Like it says off, so that like makes me think like, oh, you don't have a ring on, so you're not using that.
But if I don't know. I keep on dying. Sorry, I'm just really like if there's any Ys game, you got to spend a little bit of time at the beginning, just kind of grinding.
Yeah. Yeah, I still don't know what I would think of playing through a version of this. But it sounds like this is the consensus. This is the best. Yeah. Although I don't think the Super Nintendo version is considered bad. People were talking about the PC Engine version having a lot of bad scrolling.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Because Falcom was usually really good on the PC Engine.
Yeah. But I guess, after the, especially with the voice acting, the voice acting in Ys Book 1 and 2 on the PC Engine and TurboGrafx 16 was really good. And then it's really, really bad in Ys 3.
Oh, like American version?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I honestly wasn't even certain if there was an American version, TurboGrafx version.
See, I'm just gonna grind up a little bit here, so I don't have to keep on dying over and over again.
I did a little bit of light game shopping the other day.
Oh yeah, what'd you get?
I went to Video Game World to shoot a CRT projector.
Oh right.
Which I don't want people to get overly excited. It's funny because in the script I say, let's get this out of the way first, but sorry, we're not discussing CRT projectors in depth here. And then there's like a 2+ minute segment about CRT projectors after I say that. Mainly
because you had the opportunity to shoot that stuff, though, right?
Right. Well, and it's not completely glossed over, So, it is there. I think people will enjoy seeing it. But the particular one, it's kind of a work in progress. It needs more work. And it was kind of in a temporary setup. And they're a pain to adjust focus and convergence and stuff. And, the tubes needed some more work as it was. So... They're a pain in the butt.
Mm-hmm.
I highly recommend a newer projector with artificial scan lines instead. But it's really cool. It's really neat to see it in action. But you need to be committed to it to get it running properly, right?
Right.
And they had only gotten this one in like 2 weeks ago, and so they had only kind of just started to work on it. So, but anyway,
that's cool that you
yeah.
had the opportunity to shoot stuff of that.
It's very cool, yeah. And so we stayed at the store after hours and shot it. But before the store closed, I bought. I was tempted to buy this the last time I was there because they had a bunch of copies.
Grind on that first screen there.
They had like 4 copies each.
Then I did that again. This is going to be a bane of my existence, isn't it?
Of Echo 1 and Tides of Time on Sega CD. Like, it's so weird that they just had like so many copies of it. But they had a bunch of Sega CD stuff actually. But they were only like $25 and $30, which I thought was like low enough for a Sega CD game to just be like, I want that,
Yeah.
There's not a lot of affordable Sega CD games, so I wanted those. So I kind of wanted to get those last time I was there, but yeah, I got those this time. I also got I don't think I've ever booted this up on EverDrive, so I kind of bought this sight unseen, and I have zero clue if it's like considered any good or if I would even like it. But it was $30 complete in box, and I felt like it was a noteworthy enough of a game for me to be like, I should get that for that price. Is a Light Crusader.
Oh, it's the
treasure RPG.
Yeah.
Which is like just such a weird thing to exist that it makes me want it. I mean, it makes me want to give it a fair shake just because it's like a treasure RPG. Like, it doesn't really look like a treasure game.
It's not considered very good as far as I know.
Yeah, but I was just like, $30 is not that bad, I think, for, a game of semi-note like that, from a noteworthy developer, I feel.
Yeah.
I want to give it a fair shake, though. I see Christian Waters saying Landstalker is greater than Light Crusader. I have not played much Landstalker.
Do you have it?
I don't.
See, I used to stream that sometime. I've never played it either.
I mean, I've booted
heard
it up
many
and
good
like
things about
recorded.
It. Like, I haven't played very far into it.
It's got a really, really long opening sequence.
It does. Oh, I love it.
So I'm not even sure if I ever even got to gameplay in it. Like, I think I might have just like shot some footage during the intro at some point. But no, I mean, that was just off of an EverDrive. But I've mostly never really looked into Landstalker based on my dislike of Alundra.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
That said, though, what I've tried of Lee Stalker on the Super Famicom, that one seems a lot more fun to me. From the little bit I've played of it, I actually bought it earlier this year because I was browsing a store on eBay that had really good import game prices and shipping. So yeah, I got that. So maybe if I like that, then maybe Landstalker will make more sense to me. There's also a what's it called? There's a Saturn game in addition to Dark Savior, which I do have. Dark Savior was actually came with my Saturn.
Oh, is it the Japanese version though, right? Or no?
No, it's American.
Oh.
It's It's very odd. It's mostly kind of like, from the little bit I've played, it's like navigating like the isometric view, but then like combat is, or at least sometimes, maybe it's only boss battles, I forget, but like it goes into this like semi like one-on-one fighter style of combat for like bosses. It's really weird, but weird enough to seem interesting to me.
I can kill these bats with one hit.
Calling that backup save makes it sound like a way more intense process than it actually is.
Okay, so I can use my jump and down thrust a little bit more often. Oh, jeez. And then that happens.
Christian Water is saying, very few games have such a varied yet cohesively intertwined overall environment like Landstalker does. That
makes you
saying stuff like that speaks to me. That does make me interested. I really did not like Alundra though. Alundra is a beautiful game with a awesome soundtrack. I wish the guy who did the soundtrack for that has done more games. He's done that. He's done Gravity Rush 1 and 2, and not a lot else. And it's a style that works very well for video games, but it also sounds different from like a lot of video game music.
Jeez.
I really like his sound a lot.
Yeah.
But I wish I liked the game a lot more. It's mostly
It's all about the down thrust of these guys, I think. Just so you know.
Maybe. For Alundra, it's mostly like, by the time you get a couple of areas into the game, like it feels like they're designing the levels to force you to fight the controls as much as possible.
Gee, if I miss it, then he just goes crazy swinging his sword. I'm having like a stupid hard time with this here. For people that have played all the way through this version, I hope that this is typical, because I don't know how it could not be typical.
Yeah, I want to say, like, you struggle a little bit at the beginning. I do remember it taking Drum a while to get through the first. I
gotta remember, I gotta hold down
the first dungeon.
I don't have to press. Oh, all I have to do is press down, but I can't press down diagonal or anything like that.
Alundra has too much dialogue. Yeah, well, and the English translation is Working Designs. It possibly their most offensive.
Oh, there's probably a lot of people that would not agree with that.
Well, to be fair, I really haven't played all that many Working Designs games, I guess, to be honest, but I did not love the writing in Alundra. I know you love your Working Designs, but it kind of made me worried about playing more. You're being asked if you picked up a MIDI controller. I'm guessing
did.
Not yet. Oh, you did?
Yeah. And I told the guy that I'm gonna really make a go of it.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I haven't really done anything with it yet.
Oh, so you got the cartridge?
No, I haven't gotten the cartridge yet. But I have the MIDI controller. Ooh, what do we got here? Ooh, we got the power ring.
Ah, now maybe you can use that RP.
Oh, okay. Oh, it makes me gold.
Ah.
Oh, did I just use my... I just think I just used my herb.
Oh no. Oh, your RP is constantly going down.
Oh, is there a way to like
toggle it?
Yeah.
There's gotta be maybe a button to toggle it.
I don't think so.
You should look in the manual.
Fine, hang on.
That's why it's important for games to have manuals.
What's that?
I'd say this is why it's good for games to have manuals.
Yeah. This one's in pretty rough shape. Look, it's all brown and stuff. It's almost like a glass of water came flying out of nowhere and spilled all over it.
Oof. Yeah, not great. But you got the game for a good price, so.
Yeah. You know what it says here, and for the option mode, it says the int mode, where it says for the interlace mode. You know what the manual's description of it is?
Oh, I've read this before, but I forget.
It says, this jiggles the screen to get a clear message indication. It is not usually necessary to use this mode. You know...
Jiggles the screen.
Yeah, it jiggles the screen. It's not wrong. I mean,
can you imagine like the localizers here just being like, what does this do?
Yeah.
They're just like, I don't know, it jiggles the screen.
How do you...
The messages might be clearer.
Yeah,
but...
it might be clear, but, you know, like, what it's really doing, you know, to somebody who doesn't really know what it's doing, it is, like, it's jiggling the screen. I don't see anything about being able to toggle it. It just says when the RP reaches 0, you cannot use the rings.
So maybe you want to save it for bosses.
Well, I can just use it. I'm sure it, like, maybe it untoggles, like, once it expires, or once it runs out.
You mean it regenerates?
Yeah. So I'm gonna... The door is locked. I'm just gonna... I'll save and see how it goes.
Yeah, you know, this was, well, not this, but Oath and Felghana was the first game I played when I got my second PSP.
Oh. Was that the first game in the series that you played?
Definitely the first that I played through, but I might have I might have tried the Super Nintendo version of this at some point before then, but I'm not really sure. Probably had not played any versions of 1 or 2 by then.
But you've played 1 and 2 all the way through. Did you play the TurboGrafx version?
I've never played through the TurboGrafx version, but I do have it. I bought Greg Stewart's copy of that.
Oh, that's right.
But I played.
Oh, I got
through
Roy's pendant.
I played through the PSP version, which, you know, I've often said this, like, some of those like sprite-based games on PSP, like, some I thought looked really good back when they came out, and then, like, as time has passed, like, I feel like some of them haven't held up as well, and I feel like Ys Book 1 and 2 are definitely among them. Like, I feel like...
Yeah. Well, I think all the Ys games, the Sprite Ys games on the PSP, they don't look great except for on the PSP screen.
Well, I feel like Oath and Felghana, like, it definitely feels like it's scaled down from, like, being designed more for, like, to play on a PC or something.
Yeah. Well, it is. So that's Chester, isn't it?
But I mean, like, you know, it's a very similar style to like Ys Origin, but Ys Origin looks like way better, like in HD and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should play the TurboGrafx version 1 and 2. I mean, to be honest, I don't like them that much. I mean, I like the music, but I don't love the bump system, and I feel like they get pretty obtuse to navigate in their, you know, gigantic final dungeons.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I gotta go back to that.
Huh?
I gotta get a new sword, it looks like.
Coury Try, what is your favorite installment of Final Fantasy? I mean, my usual answer for that is 6.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's, you know, it's a tough choice. You know, you know, what I usually do to avoid ranking the Final Fantasy games is I always say that 4 through 9 are the best 6. You know, 4 through 9, including 8.
Yeah.
I am an 8 apologist. I like me some Final Fantasy 8. I think that every Final Fantasy within those 6 is better than any Final Fantasy outside of those 6.
I'm gonna load my game.
But that's not to speak ill of the others, because you know, I for the most part I really like the others too.
Yeah.
I like you know, I like I like 1 and 3. 2 not so much, but I do want to give 2. I want to replay 2 sometime. Give it another try. Maybe, I think I heard the PSP version is a little better programmed or something with a leveling system. You know, love 11, 12, 14, even like 13. The only 2 that I kind of don't like are 2 and 15.
Yeah, I haven't played through 2. But I say that 4 and 6 are definitely my favorites. And I think that's a pretty generic choice. But as someone who had their most formative years during when those games came out, it makes the most sense. Also,
5 is overrated. Job system ain't all that.
I didn't really like 5.
I disagree.
Okay. I didn't really care for 5 all that much, and I'm not a big job system fan. I think that probably has a big part.
I love job system. I mean, it's like the joy of combining, like, you know, the skills from different jobs. That's what it's all about to me. Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's fair to say 5 is overrated, because there's a lot of people who do. I think there's a lot of people who don't like 5, mostly because it's comparatively boring on the story end. Mm-hmm. But I think gameplay wise, it might be the strongest Super Nintendo one.
I mean, I definitely don't agree with that, but I only played 5 like maybe 6-7 years ago. It was actually probably longer than that ago.
It had to have been longer ago than that.
Yeah. I mean, I played it through to completion, I guess, is what it is. Like,
beating.
I finished it, yes.
You played the GBA version?
I did, yeah. Which is probably a bad one to have played. But still, like, I think that, like job systems...
No, I mean, I have not played the GBA version, but most people consider it the best version. At least the best officially released American version, because people really, really hate the PS1 translation. I've only played through the PS1 version myself, and I don't think it's that bad. it has worse load times than Super Nintendo for sure, but like it's nowhere near as bad as Final Fantasy VI or Chrono Trigger on PS1. So you can run by holding circle. You don't have to have the thief skill to run on PS1. But I would like to play through the actual Super Nintendo version someday. But I really like Final Fantasy V.
If I have to say so myself, there is no RPG that I've ever played, like straight up like turn-based RPG that I've ever played, that I liked it the most because of its battle system. I never play RPGs, or never have played RPGs because of the battle system. And maybe that's kind of crazy, because I think that like that's, I don't know if that's like a weird thing, but I mean like Grandia had, like I've played games where I like the battle system, but I never played because of the battle system. And maybe that's why I don't like Final Fantasy V that much, is because I don't really even care. I'd rather have just like a straightforward battle system where every character has their defined roles, and that's just the way it is. Like I don't play like it's like the battle system is never a draw for why I want to play an RPG.
I mean, I feel like when I first got into RPGs, that might have been kind of my perspective, because I was definitely interested in, the story and, the art and the music, probably more so than the gameplay. But I think over time, it is definitely kind of become more about the gameplay. Although, we've talked plenty of times about how,
I know I'm going the wrong way. I'm going out there so I'm going to buy a new herb.
Oh, okay. A new harb?
Yeah, a new harb. Maybe almost. I know where I'm going. Where I'm supposed to go, at least.
But, anyway, like, we've talked before, like how, every RPG has to have, like, some like crazy new named system.
Yeah, and that is a big part of what made me lose interest in RPGs for a while.
I agree that gets a little obnoxious for sure, but I do enjoy sort of a creative battle system sometimes. But I also enjoy just straightforward Dragon Quest, like like that simple RPG battling. Maybe I don't know if you would say you are there for the gameplay in that sense, but I am there for the gameplay of Dragon Quest, just that simplistic RPG adventuring. I love that stuff.
What is the mirror? The mirror, the amulet, and the necklace. The necklace is $50,000.
Shinjan says that new system stuff also turned me off from fighting games.
Yeah, I could see that too.
I could see that. I mean, not that I'm all that knowledgeable, but like, yeah, it did seem like for a while there was always some like kind of like special move or something in all the new fighting games that like required like special circumstances to use or something like that.
Yeah. See, Juno saying, since it's the same developer, what's your opinion of the Trails series? I like what I've played of the Trails series, but admittedly, I've only played the first Trails in the Sky and the first Trails of Cold Steel. And from what I understand is that both of those series really peak with their second games. That's when like the real game starts, is in the second one. So and both of them end with crazy cliffhangers, and you think that you'd want to play like right off the bat, and I did both times, but both times it wasn't available, and I just never got around to playing them. Although I do have them all.
I really liked I really liked the story and music of Trails in the Sky 1, but I was just like so bored and uninterested in its combat system. I just did not enjoy the battles at all.
See, that's the thing I like about them, is even if you don't like them, I like that every time you lose, it makes it easier and easier and easier.
And I feel like that was part of what made me lose interest. Like, you could disable that feature, I believe.
Yeah.
But, like, I was still just, like, not really enjoying the battles at all. So, like, by the end of the game, I was just, like, so checked out. And I'm just like, ugh. I don't even care. Like, I wasn't even putting an effort in on the final boss. I was just like, I don't care. And I just let myself like die like 6 times until he was easy enough to just power through without really thinking about it. I just did not really care for the battle system in that. I've had Cold Steel 1 for years now. And because I was worried about potential price going up because Falcom games, I went ahead and got the rest of the Cold Steel series. So hopefully I'll like the combat and that a lot more. We shall see. Also, according to Zane's dad, it's Zane's birthday. Happy birthday, Zane!
Happy birthday.
You share a birthday with my cousin's son, and we're 1 day away from stealing my birthday. So.
Oh, your birthday is tomorrow.
That's right.
Well, you heard it here first, folks.
Last year it was when you were out of town and I had Duke on.
Yeah, that's right. And that was right after the IPS Scream video came out.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because I think I released that. 1 year ago today. Is that right?
It must have been. Yeah.
I think that's right.
I think I have to go down. It's back at the waterfall. I thought it was through that one door because they gave me the key, but maybe I was going the wrong way. Oh wait. It's like, are we doing this again?
$5 from Stu Blazinski saying,
oh, did I not?
Try, when are you going again? Irvine Kinneas body pillow, since you love FF8 so much. I mean, maybe. What about Angelo? Angelo is Renoa's dog. I'd take an Angelo pillow.
Okay, so that's so stupid. I went all the way back out, and I guess I died, and I had to redo this whole part again. And I didn't realize that I didn't do it before I headed back outside.
Oh, Ethan Finnegan says he and his girlfriend are also August 23rd birthdays. Well, happy birthdays all around. That's quite a coincidence y'all got going on there. You know, back when I lived up north, you know, my birthday was during the summer because school started after Labor Day. But then when I moved back south for college, you know, school was always starting like the week of my birthday or sometimes on my birthday. So that stopped being fun.
I'm gonna use my harp again, I guess. I don't want to, but I'm gonna.
Thoughts on Monster Hunter Rise? You know, I came really close to buying Monster Hunter Rise earlier this year, and I kind of chickened out of it again. You know, I've never really liked any Monster Hunter. I've tried. All I've done is the demo of Monster Hunter Try on the Wii, and I got Monster Hunter World for cheap.
And you tried it both times. You didn't like World either, right?
I played several hours of World, and I was not feeling it. I was just not feeling it at all. You know, I mean, the people who really get into Monster Hunter just freaking love it. I mean, they cannot stop gushing about it, and it's like there's something about it that gets their hooks into it. It's hooks into them that is just so perfect for them. It's just like the most sublime gameplay ever. And then for those who don't get it, we don't get it. And I kind of want to get it because I downloaded the demo from Monster Hunter Rise, and I was like, this seems a lot better to me. But then, like, I was kind of worried that, like, once I start playing, like, am I going to get kind of bored with the whole, like, you know, you gotta take your mission, and then you leave the village, and then you go hunt the monster, and then you go back and you do another mission, and you know, I was really thrown off in Monster Hunter World how it's like, oh, you gotta, like, the way that you initiate a mission feels very awkward and kind of unnatural to me, and that, like, kind of it gave the game a weird flow that I wasn't feeling. I mean, that probably sounds like a small thing, and that's not the only thing, but like,
my name is Duran. Here I come. Oh, he got me, but I almost got him. That's the thing about these games. Like, these boss battles are never drawn out. You basically win or lose.
I thought the first boss was a bat.
I don't know. Or just some.
Monster Hunter Stories. I did download the demo for Monster Hunter Stories. That seemed like something I might possibly be able to get into. The character I made for it looked like Takahashi Meijin. I could see myself. I mean, you know, maybe that's the trick. Maybe I should get Monster Hunter Stories 2 and, like, maybe playing something a little more familiar, like a JRPG in the Monster Hunter world would maybe make me feel more interested in the world, and then then maybe Monster Hunter Rise or something. Maybe I would. Maybe that would help me get into it. I see there's $2 from Demo Kirby. Thank you, saying we'll play Rise with you if you ever want to play. Yeah, I remember you. I believe if I remember, yeah, there you say it. Rise is the first Monster Hunter I was able to get into. I remember you talking about that in the Discord. I feel like the mobility options really shifted things for me. See, that was kind of the feeling I was getting from it as well when I played the demo. The dog makes a big difference, I think. Being able to get around, as well as the sort of that grappling hook shot thing. That definitely makes a difference. So it really did. There was a vibe to it. Also, it has extremely highly customizable motion aiming, which is very cool. Oh yeah, you got him.
Yep. Ooh, I got.
But you wouldn't have if you had like 1 HP less.
Right? That's close.
But yeah, I mean, it definitely felt like, I don't know, I could see myself getting it someday. Like if I saw it on sale, like I don't know if how likely it is to drop the price, like as a Switch game. But it is, a third party, so maybe. I mean, I could see it, but maybe I should get Monster Hunter Stories 2 first. Maybe that would be the solution. There's also $5 from EB Chill 2. Thank you, saying happy early birthday, Try. I think you're a great guy and hope 8.7 never reaches your gaze. Well, I appreciate that. To give a little clarity on the whole 8.7 thing, I learned a little more details of it after the rant. I may have talked about this off stream at some point before. Super Nintendo is a unique situation in that the pixel aspect ratio is actually 8.7. Like the aspect ratio of an individual pixel. How they're a little wider. Is it going to be about pixel
clocks? Are we talking about pixel?
The pixel clocks, yep, the dot clock rate makes it an 8.7 pixel. But it's a total coincidence that the render area of Super Nintendo, if you were to display it with square pixels, is also 8.7. And I think when people talk about 8.7 resolution for retro games, they're thinking the overall frame size with square pixels. And I think that has created a lot of confusion in the thinking. People saying, oh yeah, the correct aspect ratio of Super Nintendo games is 8.7. Maybe they're saying pixel aspect ratio, but I think most people probably would misinterpret that.
Yes,
so
we carry. It doesn't even make any sense. If you carry too many harbs, she just says, yes, we carry.
you got
apparently
them,
it's
them
an open carry
harbs.
town.
Got them their harbs. Yeah, we carry them harbs.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just thought it was funny.
But yeah, so yeah, I think 8.7, even if you're talking about the pixel aspect ratio, I think you have to be very careful about when you talk about it and who you're talking about it to, because I think most people are going to think the aspect ratio is the overall image.
Okay. So that is not the case.
That is not what you should use. I mean, I'm not saying you're not allowed to, but I mean, when I get around to doing this aspect ratios video I want to do, I'm going to frame it up in the sense of, I'm not here to tell you that you can't display in the aspect ratio you want to. And in fact, because analog displays are so imprecise and have imprecise geometry, I think there is absolutely wiggle room in the exact sizing of the image. I think that's fine, but I think the main point is let's be informed as to why we set the aspect ratios that we do. And then maybe that'll change your mind, maybe it won't.
I think that is an episode that I am looking forward to watching, and I don't like that. That's definitely like more your territory. I have
yeah.
I'm like,
I mean, I still have a lot to learn about it myself, and doing the video will be the learning process for me.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to doing that. I think that'll be interesting. So I guess you have to go deeper into the mines.
Yeah, now I can. Yeah, because that guy was telling me to go get this sword.
Wait, didn't you get a sword?
Now I got it. Yeah, now I can go deeper. So
I see.
He's gonna be like, "Oh, you got it."
Does it unlock anything in particular, or are you just stronger now?
No, it's just a new sword.
So I started playing Octopath Traveler maybe a week ago. I'm not super far into it, but I think my clock's at 7 hours or something.
Yeah. How you feeling about it?
Because
I just heard that it starts out pretty good, but then it gets kind of boring.
Well, it's interesting. It's definitely not perfect, but it does a lot. It has a lot of ideas that I really like. One thing that's really interesting about it is, I feel like this is like maybe the ideal way to make an RPG, and so few games do this. There's, as far as I can tell,
that's not how I do that.
Almost no what's the word I want to use? No, like, gated progress. Like your areas are not gated by like story for the most part.
It feels like very similar to, like, you can do stuff way ahead of time, or can you like make it so it like closes off certain things that.
Well, I don't know if it would close off. I mean, so like if you undertake a main story quest, there's certain areas that you can't go to unless you undertake a main story quest, and you may be restricted in where you can go while you're on that quest. But you can just like go all the way around the world and like recruit people in whatever order you want, stuff like that. And like the difficulty of subsequent story missions will go up accordingly to how many you've done. But you can do them in any order. And like when you are about to enter another area, it'll have a little box on screen. It'll say like where you're headed to and what the danger level is of that area.
So it's kind of open. That's kind of cool then.
So you can, like, I feel like that's open world done right, you know?
Yeah.
Like you could go anywhere you want, but very, I mean, comparing it to Breath of the Wild might be a little bit weird, but I mean, in the sense that you can go anywhere, and the only thing really gating your progress is the difficulty of the area and your relative power.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I like it, but I think one thing I remember people criticizing about it, early on was like characters don't really talk to each other.
Right, yeah.
And like people don't like, if you like, NPCs don't really acknowledge you as like the character I started off as, like I didn't even put any thought into who I started off as. Actually, the reason that I started the game, just to back up a bit, was I redeemed my Game Pass free trial that came with the Series X just to have access to extra games for the Projectors episode. Not that I have any intention of continuing to subscribe to it. I just thought it'd be very handy to have for the episode. And I was like, well, I really want to see what the Xbox 360 version or the Xbox One X version on Series X looks like. And it looks gorgeous. And I was just like testing it out on the projector, and I just like selected the character that was like nearest to my cursor on the map when I was selecting, which was the merchant girl. And I was like, well, I want to see what it's been a while since I looked at the Switch version. I want, that's the one I actually own, so that's probably what I would play. So I wanted to compare it. So I just chose the same character on Switch, and then I ended up just continuing to play. But I was kind of thinking, like, should I look at the other characters, or should I stick with her? And I thought, I think actually starting an RPG as a merchant kind of sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I've done. But anyway, but like, you could have started with any of those characters and like gone around and recruiting them in whatever order, and then they've got like everyone has like their own goal that they have in mind next. But those characters don't talk to each other, and like in this first town, like there's like an opening cutscene where, the merchant girl talks to her parents. And then, like, the next time I went in there as her into that shop, they're just like, welcome to blah, 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 whatever the shop is called. We've got everything you need, and it's like zero acknowledgement that, like, she's their daughter. And then, like, when you encounter the other main characters, it's just like they will need strong allies on the path they have chosen. And then they're just like, oh, you want to help me? Well, okay. And then, there's just like zero party interaction, which I would say, like, okay, whatever. I mean, they're pulling off something pretty complicated with like how open-ended this is. But then again, if you look at Trials of Mana, Trials of Mana did that way back in, 95, where, like, you've got these 6 characters, and your party could be comprised of any 3 of them, and they do talk to each other, Like, that's actually, is not like amazing or anything that the story is in Trials of Mana, and certainly in the remake is very not amazing as the voice acting may be. Mm-hmm. But like, it's actually really cool what they pulled off with that, I think. Like, yeah, like that is quite a combination that they made work with a substantial amount of dialogue among the 6 possible characters and the 3 characters that you choose to play as, and and everyone has like their own starting area. So I mean, I definitely think Octopath Traveler probably took some inspiration from Trials of Mana, but Trials of Mana did that better. But I still think Octopath Traveler is a pretty interesting game. I could definitely see how it could get boring, but I'm respecting what it's doing.
Yeah,
I'm respecting what it's doing. I appreciate it. And I'm definitely curious to see what they do with that Final Fantasy Tactics style game, as well as I assume it's the same team doing the Dragon Quest III remake, which is like going to be amazing.
Yeah. It looks cool. I do want to play it, and like you saying that you're playing it, when you said, "Oh, I think I'm going to play it," like it immediately made me want to play it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that ever happens with you. Like if I ever say, like, "Oh, I decided to play this," you're like,
"Oh yeah, it does." And then like usually when you played, Nier Automata.
Right.
Like I was like, oh, I should play it too. But of course, like the timing just didn't work out. But yeah, there was $5 from Mega X6. Thank you, saying, have you guys tried 12 minutes on Game Pass this week? It's frustrating, amazing, and I've been loving it. Can't go wrong with Willem Dafoe. Oh, that's right. There was some. I think there were. I need to look at the list. While I've still got like 4 or 5 more days with it. I should try that because that the trailers for that looked really neat. I didn't know that was one of the games that was going up there. I think Myst, the new version of Myst also went up, which I've been on Cyan's PR mailing list ever since I did the Myst episode with Rand Miller way back, and they sent me a Steam code for it, but I was like, oh, I wish there was a console code. I've not tried it though. But yeah, thanks for reminding me. After the stream, I'll boot my Xbox back up and check for anything that was added that I want to maybe I'll include in the episode. There was
There's $2.
Well, there was $1.69 from Powder Keg, but it's not in the chat. Do you have access?
Yeah, I see it. I'm looking at it right now. $1.69 from Powder Keg saying thoughts on the Tokyo Olympics using JRPG and Sonic theme songs for certain countries' intro songs, like Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy.
Wait, was Chrono Trigger really used?
Oh, when during the opening ceremonies, they used Chrono Trigger music, they used Final Fantasy music, they used like Nier music, they used. There was like a crazy playlist.
Well, I heard
they fired the composer for the thing.
Right.
Like a week before.
I didn't watch anything, but I heard that like Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Nier music was all used. I did not hear about Chrono Trigger though. That's awesome. What tune was used?
I know they used like the Robo theme and something else.
Oh. The Robo theme's kind of a weird one to use.
Yeah, right.
I can't not think of that video that shows how well like the Robo theme and Rick rolling like lines up pretty exactly.
Oh, I don't know if I've ever seen that. This is like the one of the best.
Oh, you're done with the mines now.
Yeah.
Nice.
This is one of the best pieces of music.
There was $2 from Drake5017 again. Thank you. Saying, are you guys fans of Saga/Kawazu? Is Kawazu the director of Saga?
This is what made me, when you were talking about Octopath and like how all this stuff is, you can kind of just go anywhere and whatever, like right off the bat, or do like all this stuff right off the bat. That made me think of Saga Frontier because it's very much like that. You can close off a lot of stuff like right at the very beginning of Saga Frontier.
Well, I mean, I have not played much of it, but
I'm sure you've heard that.
Well, I know that you can choose any character from the beginning, but then I don't really know what the structure is like once you get underway with the game. But I like what I know of his games. The only one that I've actually finished is Final Fantasy Legend 1. But I played most of Final Fantasy Legend 3 back in the day. And I definitely appreciate sort of the weird differentness that he goes for, I think, with a lot of his games. Not that I have vast experience with them. I mean, I've played just like a few minutes of Saga Frontier 1 and 2 just for recording footage. I do own both of them though. And I want to get the Super Nintendo ones. I don't know much about them. People always say they're pretty weird, but like they've always appealed to me because they kind of look like lost Final Fantasy games. Like the sprite, like the character sprite style is like just straight up Final Fantasy 4 and 5.
Yeah.
But then like I love how Treasure of the Rudras is like pretty much like Final Fantasy 6 style sprites, except like animated, and they look amazing. Final Fantasy 2 is Proto Saga. That's interesting. Because I mean, like I said, I liked the idea of what Final Fantasy 2 was going for, but I didn't like it in execution. It definitely kind of bugged me. There was something from gaming for boring boring grown-ups.
It's just $1 without a message.
No message. Well, thank you. I hope we too are boring grown-ups.
Sometimes the most exciting thing you can be is boring.
That one makes you think.
Yeah, it's what. I think I said it to you, but I've been thinking about it a lot. Like throughout this week, I just kind of like been in this little bit of a funk where I didn't really feel like anything. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like kind of feeling emotionally numb these last couple days. It's weird. And I think I said to you, it's like, is feeling nothing a feeling?
Probably.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. Like, I
probably
guess,
just getting over your cold.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it, where I've just felt like, ugh. Oh, his brother Pierre. Yeah, apathy. I just, yeah. I think there's a way to describe it for sure. It's just, I was just like thinking about it. Like, oh, is it? If you don't feel anything.
Oh, the blonde-haired guy's like the main bad guy,
yeah,
right?
that's Chester. Yeah.
Does he have the same name in this?
Yeah.
Version?
Yeah, it seems like some of the names are the same, are correct. I mean, I didn't. It was only for like a few days, and I've been slowly coming out of it. But it was just like, I think it was just like kind of getting over being sick, and I don't know, just life, the world, I guess. Ooh, the red hot lava is running beneath us. Nobody ever comes back alive from down there. That is until now. Adol like talks so much in this. It's like all the time. He's like, "Oh, you must be Chester. Your sister Elena is worried about you. She was saying that you were a good swordsman."
It's so weird for Adol to talk.
Yeah.
It really bugs me when a character almost seems like a silent protagonist, but then like they talk occasionally, but like not enough to matter. Like, what's his name? Randy in Secret of Mana.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that, where it's like, oh, I keep forgetting you're not a silent protagonist, because like he just says something sometimes, but I finally found I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to Google search for this. And let me see if I can find it again. I searched to figure out if there was an actual term for this, and I don't know if there's like an industry term necessarily that they would use, like for like writing, or for writing the script for voice directors, or what the translators do. But you know what I've decided is like kind of a pet peeve of mine.
I'm sorry, it cracks me up. I just found some herbs here, and it goes, "You found arb."
I've got arb.
Like you literally just spelled it right. Like the sentence.
I've got harb.
Yeah.
Does the I'm guessing the Super Nintendo version probably is not so fortunate to call them harbs.
It's probably a totally different sound translation.
I'm sure it is. That's disappointing though, because
this one was done by Renovation or Telenet.
Oh, okay. I feel like I'm much more likely to end up with the Super Nintendo version just because of price.
Yeah, the Super Nintendo version has like 10 save slots on it.
Wow, this only has 3.
Yeah. Ooh, we got these like Gradius style flames and chasing me. I'm running.
But anyway,
run for your lives.
Something I've decided is a bit of a pet peeve of mine is, and Octopath Traveler does this. When characters have voice clips that like is not actually what's said in the text box. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing as like dub titling, I guess.
Well,
they have to.
So I guess the term, at least according to TV tropes, is called voice grunting.
Oh.
Where it says, games with a higher budget this is like, okay, it's described like a workaround for like, you don't have the budget to fully voice all the characters. So it's saying the other workaround for games with a higher budget is to employ brief character-specific voice clips over the relevant text boxes. For example, yeah, but the text box says, all right, guys, let's do it. Or, or, oh no, when the text box says, I can't believe I was fooled for so long.
Oh, well, it's just, I see, where it's like a canned voice clip.
It's just like a can, where usually it would be presented with like, it would be like their anime portrait or whatever.
Yeah.
And they'll do their like expression face, like, and it's just like, oh no. And it's like, and they say the same things over and over again, like throughout the game.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, why do they say it? Like in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, canonically, they're saying the thing that's in the text box. So then why are they saying the thing that's not what's in the text box? Exactly, Joe. Exactly. Joe says, I hate games that do that. Better to just not have voice at all in those parts. I agree. I feel like game developers feel this pressure to like have as much voice in the game as possible because people like, I got to envision what these characters are like, and I have to hear their voice for me to envision what they're like. And I totally disagree with that. I think it is if voice acting is not in your budget, just don't sweat it. There's nothing wrong with reading text. And heck, even if it's a big budget game like Zelda, whatever. You don't gotta have voice acting. And like, I hate it. Like, and Joe's right. Like, eventually, like I was so annoyed by it in Octopath Traveler that at first I just changed it to Japanese voice, because then it's like, okay, well, this way I hear the voice, and maybe that gives me some idea of their character or whatever. But I don't understand it, so I'm not annoyed by the fact that what they say doesn't align with what's in the text box. And eventually I was just like, you know what? Like, this is a game that's clearly trying to feel like a retro RPG. Why don't I just turn the voices off? And it feels more like what I want it to be. And so that's what I eventually did. So now I've just got voices totally off in the game. I mean, and I see CVL saying, I liked Octopath's voice acting. And don't get me wrong, it is good voice acting. But, like, it doesn't feel like a good fit for the game. Like, it feels too weighty for...
there's unlimited herbs in here. That's huge.
It somehow feels too weighty for this, like, throwback pixel game. I don't know. Like, it does not work for me in that specific game. I saw earlier someone say, Breath of the Wild did not need voice acting. Arumonado, yeah, I agree. It did not need voice acting. Like, I mean, it was okay, but it was not needed. I see Dimensium in the chat saying, I actually find myself more engaged in games that don't voice everything. I am less likely to be distracted in the middle of a conversation, and if I am, I can just reread it. Yeah, and two, like, I feel like I can get through the text a lot faster sometimes. Now, don't get me wrong. Well, yeah. I appreciate voice acting in a lot of games, but I just don't think it's necessary for every game. And sometimes it's just like I like, especially like I mean, again, Octopath Traveler, like there sometimes there can be like so much nuance to how someone says something, and there can be a pregnant pause, or just
yeah.
And then they wait a while before they actually say what they're sighing about. And it's like, I can read this before, like, I get annoyed when I can read it and I'm waiting like 3 times as long to listen to it. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I think I talked about something similar to that, where one of the things I've like kind of grown increasingly more annoyed with, and I'm happy that some games have stopped doing this. if you're gonna have voice acting, like have the text, the next line or whatever of that's gonna be the next text box, like have it like advance automatically. Don't make me press the button, because it's just, I just think it's really annoying when you can like have that gap in the conversation. I don't mind being able to pause it. I don't mind being able to pause, but like that's one of the things I like E's 8 and 9 did that, where when it reaches the end of the text box, so them voicing it, it'll go on to the next one automatically. And you can hit the square button to stop it from doing that, but you can like have it default as always happening. And I just want it to, you know, once it reaches the end, just go to the next text box so that the scene can just play out. Yeah, and I don't have to sit there and like hit it.
That actually, like, I remember, you know, that, I mean, like, I think the first RPG with like full voice acting I played was probably Final Fantasy X. Mm-hmm. And, you know, those scenes play out like cutscenes, you know, and it's just subtitled, and they play out, you know, in a pre-planned with pre-planned timing. It might have been like, I don't know, maybe Tales of Symphonia, maybe, that I where it was maybe the first time I was exposed to like, oh, they say something, but I need to hit a button to advance. But like, I didn't mind that, because it was kind of like, oh, well, I don't know, it kind of feels like a pre-voice acting RPG. Like, and like, it gave me, like, if I didn't understand what they said, it kind of gave me a moment to like reread or like, you know, soak it in a little bit better. I don't, if auto advance is on by default, I usually leave it on. But if not, then I don't mind it. I leave it off. A lot of games do have an auto advance option, though. I see that Aru Monado is saying, you know, who also said Breath of the Wild did not need voice acting, which I agree with, and I also agree with him saying Fire Emblem Echoes and Three Houses both had great voice acting. I have not played Three Houses yet, but I played Echoes late last year / early this year, and I was far more impressed with the game than I expected to be in every regard. Honestly, it was really, really good. And actually, I agree with you. The voice acting was one of the things that stood out to me. I thought I was not expecting it to really have like a big budget for voice acting, and it did not have the voice grunting or whatever. It might have for like a couple of NPCs in town. Like there were NPCs, some NPCs were not voiced, but I was shocked. Almost every single thing in the game, almost every single scene in the game for a 3DS game is fully voiced, and it was well done. That was a situation where I was not annoyed by waiting for the text to finish, or waiting for the voice acting to finish. You know, it's not like, oh, I just want to mash through this faster. Like it was well done. You know, that is a star example of how to do it right. And then Gaming Blows says, no way I find text-based games more engaging. It is all about the game. Witcher 3's characters were more engaging to me than they would have been via simple text. And while I haven't played The Witcher 3, I can absolutely relate to that. When you look at, say, Morrowind versus Oblivion and Skyrim. You know, Morrowind is... I can appreciate what it was for its time, but it's a lot of dense text to get through, and then dialogue trees to go through. I mean, to get the information you need. I found, I mean, and you know, Oblivion especially, and also Skyrim are, you know, Bethesda in general are notorious for using, you know, 2 voice actors, pretty much. Minor exaggeration. Minor exaggeration. But still, like, I found that their dialogue was easier to parse, and it was more to the point than what's in Morrowind. I mean, Morrowind just gives you a big block of text, and there's more blocks of text buried under the different branches, and it's pretty overwhelming. Gaming Blue says, if I'm in the right mood, I can sit back and absolutely lose myself in Morrowind dialogue. Same cannot be said for Oblivion. You know, I think Oblivion gets a bad rap these days, you know, because I guess people thought Skyrim is so much better, but I still have a big soft spot for Oblivion. Every once in a while, like, if, you know, I've not really played through Skyrim or Oblivion lately, but like anytime I just like boot it up for any reason, it's just like, oh, I could really go for just playing through this whole thing.
So I'm just kind of grinding some RP so I can beat that boss. And luckily,
Radiant AI. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. I don't even remember really what that was. It just had something to do with like sort of random occurrences, right? Say what you will about Oblivion's voice acting, though, but Shea Gorath is amazing. I think like Shivering Isles in general is probably the best. I mean, I have not like done every quest in every, you know, in Oblivion or Skyrim or Morrowind, but I feel like Shivering Isles in Oblivion is probably like the best slice of Elder Scrolls.
Did I see something about how Skyrim is coming out on PS5 and stuff? Like an anniversary edition or something?
There is some... Yeah, I didn't read all the details. It sounded like they're including some like a curated selection of like user-created like mods in it.
That's good.
I don't know though. It didn't sound to me like it was actually a native PS5 version though.
Oh.
Like it sounded like it was going to be like Back Compat Plus, which sounds kind of pointless. I wonder if I'll get it automatically just for having Xbox One Skyrim.
I don't know.
Oh, they add fishing? Doesn't even sound like something I couldn't have even told you that Skyrim didn't have fishing. I think I only played Skyrim to the end one time. But I've played Oblivion to the end a few times. But I'll tell you what I started to do in Oblivion was in later times that I played it, you know, I never went to, what was it, Kvatch? Is Kvatch the city that triggers Oblivion gates to start appearing all over the world? If you don't go to Kvatch, then Oblivion gates never appear anywhere else. So it makes the world so much more pleasant to explore. So, like, I would just, like, you know, never go to Kvatch and just, like, do Shivering Isles or whatever else I wanted to do. Just thinking, 20 years, how many more re-releases of Skyrim and GTA 5 await us?
Well, there hasn't been a native Xbox Series X and a PS5 version of GTA yet.
But isn't it like like Sony opened up one of their major like pre-release events with GTA 5.
Yeah,
remember?
I do
like
remember
last
that.
summer.
Yeah.
I honestly couldn't have told you that it wasn't out yet, though. Is it really not?
Oh, I don't know.
Wow, No More Heroes 3 is in only a few days?
Really?
I did not know that. Is there a physical right away? I'm excited to get my. I think they might be shipping soon. I'm excited to get my physicals of 1 and 2 No More Heroes on Switch from Limited Run. I have never played them, but I watched Drum play them, but it was a really long time ago. I've seen people in our Discord say that they're really good versions. It's apparently runs significantly better than the Wii version.
Oh, that's good.
No More Heroes 3 is out on the 27th, and there's a physical on Amazon.
All right. Oh, did I not equip the ring?
Wait, Limited Run did I don't think Limited Run's doing the physical in No More Heroes 3. It sounds like it's just for sale.
Yeah. No. Come on, you stupid dragon. Show yourself. There you are. See if I can...
I mean, even as you've hit some barriers, I've been a little bit impressed with your progress.
Yeah. Well,
and this, yeah, it's like I feel like for me, like the cave just always seems almost insurmountable. Yeah, the mines at the beginning. So I've always been like, oh man, I don't know. But like seeing you make some progress here is like kind of inspiring.
That is one of the things I like about this is it really does move pretty quick. Is there like a
How far in
way?
do you think you are?
I don't know. I
don't remember Oath and Felghana like well enough to. But I mean, it was like less than 10 hours.
Yeah, that's what I like about it, and I like how long the Ys games are now because there's like a lot of side things that are fun to do, like outside of the tower defense. But I do really miss those days of Ys games that were just so quick and efficient. Like people didn't have to talk. Like that's like 7, 8, and 9. Like there's and I got in Celceta. There is just a lot of talking, just like going back and forth about stuff.
I mean, the thing that bugged me about 7 is like there's this whole thing at the end where you have to like go back to these places. Like I don't mind backtracking on, a lot of people just like backtracking equals bad. I like backtracking in games. Like that's what makes Metroidvania games so interesting, right?
Yeah.
But in E7 it felt really tacked on to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like having, you had to get like the 6 colored gems or whatever they were. I don't remember how many it was, but you had to get some gems. It felt very contrived.
I feel like I'm doing something wrong here. Like I just like this guy that's way harder than I was expecting. I need like another thing. He's like really. It's not that he's hard. It just. This takes a while.
There was also $1 with no message from Container 7, but thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh, is there something else I need to be using? Or is it...
Oh, are you supposed to use something else?
Yeah, it's not that he's difficult, though.
But I felt like the pace of Celceta was a lot better than 7 to me.
Yeah.
I liked 7 overall, but I liked Celceta a lot more. But I'm looking forward to playing 8. I really need to do it. I believe Shinjon said I need to suffer through 6, although I don't think I'm going to suffer. I think I'm going to like 6. I'm going to like 6.
You can finish 6 in probably like 4 evenings, I bet. 6 is not a long game. Alright, so the amulet gives you 3 massive damage attacks. So you think, is it better for me to just, like, how long before I level up again? Jeez.
No
it
way.
might not be that bad. How many?
Christian Waters says, just minutes ago I sold on eBay my Chrono Cross clock that I got from pre-ordering it way back in '99 for $50.
Wow, I had that too. I
have it. I tried.
The thing I really regret selling is my Arc the Lad the watches that I had like almost a complete set of those Arc the Lad watches.
I tried actually just a couple of months ago. I tried to see if I could get that Chrono Cross clock to keep the time again, because it stopped keeping the correct time a long time ago, and I just haven't kept a battery in it ever since. I'm like, I'm going to put a battery in this.
Yeah, well, maybe it's keeping correct time in a different dimension.
Ooh,
and that's the thing.
The reason I got it out was when I was doing the Retrode 5X video, and I wanted to do sort of this big,
pretty easily here.
This big intro shot to the Chrono Cross problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? Why don't I put my Chrono Cross pre-order clock in there? That was. People talking about their August 22nd and August 23rd birthdays. That was what I was playing when my cousin's son was born, and when I had my 16th birthday.
When Chrono Cross came out, that was the summer I worked at Walmart.
Oh, I didn't know you worked at Walmart.
Only for a summer. I
never knew that.
The summer of Square, I guess I worked at Walmart.
Summer of Square.
It was the summer of Square, and I was working at Walmart.
I knew you worked at Pizza Hut, and I knew you worked at EB. I know you worked at Walmart.
There was you could scan CDs in the Walmart electronics department, and it would play little portions of the music videos. And I would remember, I learned so many little snippets of songs. And there's one portion of Kryptonite by Three Doors Down that I know that part of the song. If I ever hear that song on the radio, there's one specific part that I can always sing out loud. Even though I don't like the band, I never did. Especially don't like the song. But it's just.
Well, was this before or after EB?
I think this was during. Because
did you take a break from EB, or did you
probably because I was not getting enough hours or something like that. So I worked at Walmart for a summer, and it was horrible. I just remember because you're on that hard floor. I just remember how much my legs would hurt afterwards. But
yeah, that was a lot of memories surrounding the release of Chrono Cross. I lived in Delaware at the time, and I pre-ordered it at EB at the mall near me, and I got the clock. And but when I found out, we're going to be visiting family when it comes out, I actually called my cousin's husband and asked if he could go pre-order Chrono Cross for me
So you can get
at
that
the
clock.
EB at their mall, and I canceled my order in Delaware, but they had asked for the clock back.
Yeah, well, that's good. So you still have
No,
it, man. I wish I still had mine. It was like that was definitely one of the things that I had gotten rid of. Like I'm pretty sure that I sold that one on eBay as well. Like when I had to like sell so much stuff to when I moved to New York, there's so much stuff that I sold. But those Arc the Lad watches, like I don't even understand why I didn't keep just like one of them. It makes no sense to me why I didn't keep one of them. There we go, leveled up.
There was $5 with no message from Rad Ranger.
Oh, thank you.
But thank you. That's very rad of you.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna try and beat this guy now. I'm in the old lava pit. I think they keep on giving the harbs down here because I don't think you can get out of here. Like you're stuck down here, so you.
Oh,
it's probably like some.
yeah.
It's a great equalizer, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I guess the boss is hard enough that you have to grind enough to be able to beat him, probably. And let's see what we got here. It's necessary. So we'll see how this goes. But yeah, that summer at Walmart, it's like one of those things I forget about a lot. Like it doesn't even seem like it really happened. It's like the summer I spent working at a Sprint call center.
Oh, I don't think I knew that one either.
That was horrible too. Yeah, that was not cool.
Today's stream has last week's title card.
I shouldn't.
Not. I see Ease 3 right here. Unless did you change the game name?
Yeah, I did. I see like it's already. There we go.
Yeah, everything looks correct to me. Still have an N64 wall clock and a PlayStation desktop clock from EB days. Man, that sounds neat. I've kind of been wanting to look for like a cool sort of game themed wall clock, but I want it to be one that doesn't make an actual ticking sound. Oh man, you just like
Yeah, just
jabbed
one
your
level.
sword like straight into that dragon's throat.
Yeah.
And just wrecked him.
That's all. Sometimes that's all it takes. It's just like one level makes a world of difference. You know, I'm gonna get out of here.
Whoa, Scott Davis is traveling again.
Yeah.
Saying, hey dudes, greens from French Polynesia. Ain't allowed to donate from this region. Have chill times, y'all. Well, I don't know if you're on work or if you're on vacation, but you have chill times too.
Hopefully this is the right way. I'm supposed to go back.
Sold a factory sealed Baden Katos Origins in 2016 for $90. I don't know what it goes for now, but I bet that would go for a crazy. I don't even know what an opened one goes for now. I wish I didn't get rid of Baden Kaitos Origins either. Like, I did not enjoy it. I played several hours of it, and
Oh, you don't have it?
I used to have
Right,
it.
you got.
I hated everything they changed about the battle system. Like, I love the battle system in the first game, and I was just, like, so annoyed by the way the battle system worked in Origins that I was just like, I can't. I don't even remember specifically what it was that annoyed me so bad, but it was just, it was not fun.
By the way, I'm sending you the music. Can you hear the game music at all or no?
I've heard little bits of music sporadically, but I don't hear much. Is it because your volume is just not up high enough? How does it sound on the stream to everyone?
Yeah, I'm wondering. Look at
that. In your old audio setup, you kind of had a frequent problem of, like, you thought the game audio was high enough, but it wasn't.
Right.
And it'd be nice if you don't have that problem with this setup. Oh, Eric Fox, loud and clear. Okay. Well, Gaming Blows thinks it's quiet, but everyone else thinks it sounds good.
Cool. I'll check the archive tomorrow. See how it...
Robert Carlson says music's more audible than usual.
Oh, that's good. Well, hopefully this new mixer is a good investment.
An N-Gage demo kiosk. I can't remember if I ever played an N-Gage demo kiosk. If I didn't, then I've never played an N-Gage.
You think there's anybody out there that got an N-Gage and only ever used it as a phone? Do you think there's anybody out there that got the N-Gage mainly for the phone?
I really honestly don't even know, like, what thought process goes into buying an N-Gage to begin with, so I'm not sure I could answer one way or the other.
See, hopefully I'm strong enough now that it's just going to be...
Apparently, some people think that the game could be louder. Abominable Kenny says you guys are loud loud and clear.
Yeah.
I thought you meant we were too loud for a second there. I mean, but it sounds like people can hear the game audio well enough, so it couldn't be more than a small bump, I would say.
Yeah.
It would be necessary.
So my mom is visiting. She got here on Thursday, and she's here until Friday. Maybe, yeah. And my wife went camping with some friends yesterday, or not camping, but like to a friend's lake house for the day and overnight. So it's just like my mom and I had our kids, and we took my kids to the movies for the first time, and I guess I've only been to the movie theater once since Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh.
And
I don't think I've been to the movie theater since maybe Avengers Endgame.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, we went to see Jungle Cruise, which was not bad, but it really just drives home, like, when a movie just has too much action in it, too many action scenes, and it's very obvious that they were trying to make something that was gonna have a feeling like the Pirates of the Caribbean has, because it's based
really.
on
So I mean, like I didn't. I've seen like trailers for it pop up on YouTube here and there, but I've not like watched any footage of it closely enough. Like I had a hard time envisioning that Jungle Cruise could be turned into something of the scale of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Well,
is it really going for that scale?
Yeah, it definitely was.
Really?
And it wasn't half bad, but it's just like really made me have that feeling of like, man, they should just like cut out like 2 of these action sequences and just got rid of them, skipped them. And it just, you feel like it's like desensitizing after a while. Where it's like, okay, now we're going to have like an action sequence that's going to go on for 15 minutes now. And it's just like, oh, here's another one. It's going to be another 15 minutes. And, like, nobody's going to... Nothing. It's just going to be a lot of close calls. Every time.
A lot of close calls. That should be the name of a movie. A lot of close calls.
Yeah. And, it was decent, but it was... Like, it could have been 20 minutes... 30 minutes shorter and just like gotten rid of action. I mean, it was the same thing with Rise of Skywalker. Like they should have just like got rid of one of the action scenes and like maybe had, even if you just like even in Rise of Skywalker, they had just like gotten rid of the scene where they're getting chased through the desert planet looking for the quicksand. And it's like, why don't they just get rid of that and have like 5 minutes where the characters are just hanging out talking?
I mean, I remember so relatively little of that movie.
I know, I'm the same way.
But like, that was like one of the biggest. I mean, there were many big problems with it, but like, I mean, one problem that it really drove home for me was just how little time you had to appreciate each place they visited.
Yeah,
George Lucas, say what you will about the prequels, but he was very good at world building and giving each planet and culture the time that it needed to become interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then like everything that they did in the sequels was just like all of these planets and cultures that like the artists clearly spent a lot of time developing. Like, it's just blinking, you miss it in the movie. Like, there was this whole, like, crazy parade thing going on that desert planet, and you just, like, you don't even... There's just no... You don't spend enough time there to get a cohesive understanding of what is this place like. I couldn't have... I mean... back in my Star Wars nerd prime, like, I knew the names of the... planets and creatures of they visited in all those places, and like I feel like none of that stuff really takes enough center stage in the sequels. But that's enough talk about that movie.
Yeah, for real. I have like literally not thought about it at all. Like, there's no interest in like watching it again, at least.
Yeah, none at all.
Okay. So.
I feel like I am much more likely to watch Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
And that's bad enough.
Much more likely.
Yeah.
I could see myself.
That's a tough decision. I don't know if I could
see
commit.
myself watching that again before Indiana Jones 5. Maybe.
Man, I don't know. Like that's tough. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like I need something else here. Come here. I'm gonna try and cheese you here. Come on. Oh. Maybe. Oh, I can leave the room. Oh, well. But yeah. Did I tell you about how I watched Pee-wee's Big Adventure with my kids?
Maybe. I think you might have.
Did I mention that on stream before? Because I watched Pee-wee's Big Adventure with my kids. We went into it like it was no context at all. Like they didn't even see a trailer.
Uh-huh.
And it was kind of an amazing experience. Like my son was like, why does he act like a little kid? And I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't. Who knows? it never explains it. It doesn't matter. And about how that movie is just completely nonsensical.
You know, I'm honestly not sure if I've ever seen the whole thing.
It's on the Vudu if you want to watch it one night.
Oh, okay.
Because it was $4.99 and we watched it, and you know, I loved it when I was a kid, and now I watch it and I think I can't believe that this was even made. I can't believe that they gave Tim Burton and this is his first big budget movie. They gave Tim Burton money to make that movie. Right? It seems crazy to me because that would never happen now. They have something like that weird and nonsensical. I don't know. And then then that movie comes out and they're like, let's have this guy make Batman. Which is even crazier, right? Maybe it's silly to think that, but it is unbelievable to me now.
Yeah, it makes you think. It makes you think.
But,
you know it.
I think I need to get up another level here.
When Dave was on the stream, we were talking about Dave was like, you know what, we've never talked about what are your favorite movies. Everyone knows that, you know, Dave is all about Ghostbusters and Back to the Future, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, but I what are your favorite movies, Try? And I had to think about you know, back when I was, you know, in high school and college, I was all about
Oh, you know what? Beetlejuice did come before Batman. You're right. Beetlejuice was the second movie then. So they probably made... sorry, I didn't mean to jump in there. I just wanted to say it before.
Dave was talking about how Beetlejuice is definitely competing for his favorite. You know, I remember my dad renting that Brain Beetlejuice when I was a kid, and I'm pretty sure I watched it, but I do not remember a thing about it. I definitely should give it a watch sometime. But anyway, so I had to think about it because I feel you know, I feel my, I don't feel I know that my, you know, fandom for Star Wars has waned drastically. You know, I still have interest. You know, I still want to, you know, play Star Wars games sometime. You know, I want to play Jedi Fallen Order sometime. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, I just it as the whole, even the original, you know, the great original movies. I just I like them, but I just don't feel as intensely invested in them as I did when I was, you know, younger. But you know, I was, you know, the top two spots, you know, when me and Dave were talking, I was saying that, you know, the top two spots are probably Raiders of the Lost Ark and Back to the Future 1. But honestly, Raiders of the Lost Ark is probably my favorite movie.
Yeah, I mean that's top 3 for me.
It's
for sure.
Probably my favorite, and then Ghostbusters and you know, I know you would disagree, but Terminator 1, I think I like Terminator 1 more than Terminator 2. I like Terminator 2. Don't get me wrong. It's way up there. But I like the horror movie vibe of the first one.
Okay. I mean, I can understand that. But I mean, Terminator 2 is it is my favorite movie of all time.
Oh yeah.
Cannot be talked out of it at this point.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's up there. It's up there. But I had a really hard time picking a fifth, and I don't remember what I even picked, but in whatever it was, like, it wasn't anything with conviction. But like after the fact, I was kind of thinking, you know, I think Die Hard could be a contender for the fifth.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
The first Die Hard is amazing.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about it earlier this week because I don't know if anybody saw it go on sale, but I never thought in my life I would pay $100 for a Nerf gun, and then Nerf announced that they're doing that replica Aliens pulse rifle. And I'm like, this is like something I've wanted since I was a little kid, and like I had to buy it. I pre-ordered it. The Aliens pulse rifle, and it has like a clip. It has like a digital readout for how many rounds you have left. It even makes like the gun, like the pulse rifle sound when you shoot it, I guess. I'm like, I'm gonna pre-order this, and it's crazy to me, but this is like something that I've wanted like my entire life since when did Aliens come out? 1987. So it was probably at least since I was 9.
You should get some sort of like mount for it and put it on the wall.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna use it. You know, and that got me thinking about like aliens and like even like Avatar and stuff. Like James Cameron movies always have like the coolest like guns. Does that make sense? I mean, maybe.
I guess. I mean, you know, to be completely honest, like I could not tell you off the top of my head what any of them look like. You know, I've only seen I really liked Alien and Aliens, but I think I've only seen them one time. I really liked them the one time that I saw them.
You should really.
And I feel like, you know, they would, if I watched them more times, I feel like they would be, you know, inching pretty close to those top 5. I mean, they are really, really good. But, you know, again, I think I liked Alien more than Aliens. You know, those first times I watched them, just because I thought the horror movie vibe was really
yeah. I mean,
I think a big part of the reason that I like T1 and Alien so much is because they are horror movies that don't have your typical horror movie setting or monster, you know, especially T1. But I mean, Alien, like, yeah, there's been a lot of sci-fi horror films since, but off the top of my head, I can't think of one that I've seen that was actually scary.
Of what?
Of like a sci-fi horror film after Alien that was actually scary. Like there's plenty of, you know, basically parody ones like Jason X and Leprechaun in Space.
Well, what about I mean, like, what about like Event Horizon?
I thought that was I watched that last year, or maybe the year before that. I watched it in very recent years, and I thought it was bad. I watched it on your Vudu, I think.
I might have that on there. Maybe.
I thought it was kind of bad.
Really? I guess it's been a long time since I've seen it.
Came out, but
at the time it was probably the best movie that Paul W.S. Anderson made outside of Mortal Kombat. You know?
I kind of like the first Resident Evil.
Well, I like the first Resident Evil movie, but I wouldn't say
maybe
that it's
something
like,
I shouldn't admit. I kind of like the first Resident Evil.
I like it too, but it's not. I wouldn't say that it's like a good movie, I guess.
No, I mean I don't. But it's certainly not bad. It's decent. It's decent.
What was this one movie that I recently
But
read
Event
something about
Horizon,
that
like
I really wanted to see.
When I think of Event Horizon, though, the image that comes to my mind is when they first get on the ship, and there's like all this like CG stuff floating around, and like one of those things is like a CG wrench, and it looked horrible. Like, how even in the 90s do you make a bad looking CG wrench?
I don't know.
Like,
When was
how
the last time you watched the Mortal Kombat
how can
movie?
a CG
Reptile
wrench
looks so bad in that movie. I mean, like, it's just whatever budget they had. I guess they decided that.
I mean, I feel like it takes effort to make a bad looking CG wrench.
Yeah.
I'm sure Shinjon could back this up. It took someone had to try to make a CG wrench look that bad.
I see in the chat there. I see YouTube saying YouTube is apparently pretending that they're YouTube, saying that if we don't end this stream now, they're going to delete this video. YouTube. Okay. That's your. Show me some of that YouTube.
Scepter Sever was asking about what about The Thing. That would, I'm pretty sure that would be in my top 10. The Thing is pretty amazing. Apparently, Event Horizon's editing was rushed to meet the delivery date.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, I could see that. It was also really hard for me to accept Sam Neill as a villain. That was, I mean, even though he was and he wasn't, but I mean, it's that was I couldn't buy. What was it? There was some other movie I saw within the past 4 or 5 years that like the guy who was the villain was just like I was just so distracted by the idea of this guy not seeming like a plausible, just an actor that I would never envision being a villain. Back to the Future 1, 2, or 3. I like all three. You know, I remember like years ago, like I don't know if this is still a commonly held opinion, but a lot of people said Back to the Future 2 was
the best one?
Big disappointment, and
oh my god, I thought it was like so good.
I very much disagree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, especially like the second half of the movie, like, you know, going back to 1955, like, and seeing like the interaction between, you know, the events of the first movie, like that is just like some of the absolute coolest crap. Like that is like, I live for movie moments like that. Like, and like another thing that, I mean, one of my absolute favorite movie moments of anything is when Doc Brown gets zapped away, and then like literally the next second there's like this car driving down the road, like giving Marty this like decades old letter, like from Doc Brown telling him what happened. Like that is just, I love stuff like that. Like, I mean, you know, like Endgame kind of did it too, but like not as effectively, I think. But I love like kind of instant reaction or instant like cause and effect like time travel things. Like you see someone time travel, and then like you see the immediate effect. You know what I mean?
You haven't watched Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure before, right?
I have not.
Okay. There's a lot of stuff like that too, like in like the stupidest way, but like it's played as like as a joke.
Yeah.
It's like we got to remember to come back here and put a cage, hang a cage for the ceiling, and then we want to drop a not a cage, it's a garbage can. We need to hang a garbage can from the ceiling and so that it drops. It's just, I don't know. It's funny. I should rewatch the third one of that. I've only watched it like the one time.
I mean, when that was coming up, I was like, oh, I should. Well, and you added all three to your Voodoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get around to those. I have no idea what I'll think, but
yeah. I see Dingus Glurt is talking about the Naked Gun trilogy, and I would say that the first Naked Gun is like an absolute classic. And,
oh, sure.
But I think that 22 and a half and 33 and a third, they're just too slapstick for me, and I feel like the Zuckers, like they went too far into like this slapstick territory with their movies, and they never quite reached that same funniness of like absurdity, but also like kind of like a little bit of maybe just they were absurd, but I guess I talk about this a lot where. Like if we have like a joke in our video, we always try to like play it straight, like it just kind of happens, and we don't like say like, "Hey, here's something funny is gonna happen," and like they were very good at that for the longest time. And I was gonna say like Top Secret is a great movie, and they play it's silly and stupid, but they play it straight. And then like when Naked Gun, when the second one came out, I felt like they stopped it's just too slapstick, and it's like, hey, isn't this funny that this ridiculous thing just happened? It wasn't just kind of like it just like happens and moves on.
It's been so long since I've seen them that I can't really think of what distinguishes the character of one or the other. But yeah, I definitely should rewatch them. See, someone mentioned Top Secret, which I actually did a college report on Top Secret because I took a class that was movie or music and film and TV,
and that was one.
And I had to do a report on a musical, which is not a genre that I care for.
Yeah.
And I was just like, ugh, what am I going to pick? And I was originally going to do like a Disney movie or something.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, oh, Top Secret.
Yeah. Top Secret's a great movie. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but going back to the Naked Gun really quick though, that I like, one of the things that I think is
I know exactly what you're about to talk about.
I know one of the things that it's still like one of the funniest things, and it makes me laugh the hardest as it did the first time I ever saw it, is the ending credits to the Police Squad TV show, the TV show of the Naked Gun.
Yeah,
where it's just
them like preceded it.
Yes, that preceded it, and if people in chat haven't seen it, you should like watch a compilation of like all the ending credit scenes from the show. Was only on, I think they only made like 7 episodes or something like that. 6 or 7 aired on TV because like people just like didn't get it, but now you watch it and it's like it's so funny. But it's like them, like back in the day when there would be like a show would end, they'd always like have a freeze frame of like them laughing or something like this. But here, they just like they freeze themselves and they hold it for the entire ending credits. And like there's one where he's like pouring coffee and he just keeps on pouring coffee and eventually like drops the cup, but they don't move. And all this stuff happens like in the background. It's very, very funny. And I still go back and watch the compilation of those.
I've seen those ending scenes, but I've never seen the show, which is really surprising. I need to watch those. They're probably on something where I could stream them.
Sure, and it's very apparent that it didn't since it didn't do very well. That there's a lot of jokes that are recycled in the movies.
Well, I remember reading that they said that they think the reason that it didn't do well is because you had to pay too much attention to it.
Yeah.
And people wanted to be doing other things while TV shows were on.
Yeah.
But I feel like that concept would work today because I feel like shows have become extremely the plot is extremely intricate in modern shows, whether actual TV shows or streaming shows. Like the plots have become very detailed, very intricate. You have to pay attention to all the details. But they think that's maybe what people didn't want back then.
But arguably that is interesting that the plots have become so intricate in detail and you really got to pay attention. And I feel like when people are watching TV, they are paying attention less than they ever have right now. Because people like they have their phone in the other hand and just they're just kind of taking it in through osmosis.
Yeah.
Absolutely I barely watch shows just in general unless it's something that I kind of have just picked up early on, but it's just I definitely am looking at something else a lot of times.
Yeah, I'm not when I watch something that is the thing I am doing.
And that's why that's why you don't watch a lot of stuff on YouTube, is because if you watch it, you just have to focus on that thing,
right,
until it is over with.
Right. And the same reason I don't really listen to a lot of podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
I get too engrossed in it too easily.
Yeah.
And it's just my whole day's gone, Looks like you've got this guy. Oh, you got him.
Yep. I got the statue. But yeah, it's just interesting to think of things like that, I guess. See, I think that after this is the mountain, and then it's the last area. I'm surprised to see you back from the lava pools. Yeah, because nobody has ever come out of there alive until now. I'm surprised to see you. I must have misjudged your strength.
Well, I am surprised. Is this still chronologically the third game?
No. 4 is before this.
4
begins with them
Which 4, though?
All of them. I mean, they all come back. They all start with coming back from the continent of Ease, from Ease 2. And the reason that is because it's the same as it always is. They tried something different. They changed the perspective in this, and it was received poorly. So it's okay, so we're gonna go and we're gonna make another game. It's gonna go back to the original style that people want, and it's gonna take place before the game that people didn't like. I mean, that's what happened. It happened with Link to the Past. I mean, what else did it happen with? Street Fighter 3. You know, like I think that was like perceived as like, oh, when it came out, it wasn't like as popular as they thought it was going to be. So when we make Street Fighter 4, it's going to take place before Street Fighter 3 did. But then, you know, the public perception of 3, I guess, changed over time. But I think that's that maybe that would be an interesting video where poorly received sequels, where the following sequel brought back the original gameplay and take place before the game that people didn't like. And well, let's try to fit that into that little box on our thumbnail. That very idea. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential video concepts that just like, how do you condense this into words?
Yeah. Prequel sequels. Prequel sequels.
That take place before the game that people didn't like.
Yeah.
But
prequel sequels out of sequential order. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it.
Games that people didn't like, but they like now.
Yeah.
Which is like, it tends to happen.
Yes. But yeah, that sounds like a funny. If we could condense that idea, because really, like outside of this, I guess Street Fighter, Zelda, what else is there?
I'm sure we could think of something.
Yeah.
Same name, different game set calls them interquels. I don't know if that's an actual term or I mean
it's probably maybe
that is a good term if you made it up though.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what it means.
You know, I always think one of the weirdest things is that
getting myself another carb here.
That Temple of Doom.
Castlevania 3. Castlevania 3. Adam Fry's got another one. Castlevania 3.
But doesn't, I mean, Castlevania 1, 2 are both Simon. I actually don't know my Belmont order all that well. Is Trevor before?
Oh, yeah.
But see, like, I feel like the concept, though... Well, yeah, okay. Yeah, that works. Well, like, I was saying before, like, not that it really follows what we're talking about, but, like, I always thought it was weird that... I'm pretty sure I'm right on this, that Temple of Doom takes place before Raiders of the Lost Ark.
It does.
Like a year or two before.
Yeah. So I guess like that is a typical thing. Maybe it's like in like a lot of media. Because I know that Temple of Doom was certainly not considered to be like a great follow-up.
Yeah, but Temple of Doom was the movie that did take place before.
Right. But I wonder if they said, okay... Oh, yeah,
and then with the third, they're like, well, let's go back to follow Raiders.
Right, you're right.
A little more closely.
Where did you say I needed to go? I totally missed where I needed to go next. You know, Temple of Doom is not that bad now, but I'll tell you, when did Temple of Doom come out? 81? Like, I saw that movie in the theater. I think it was after Jedi, so it was probably like 85, maybe? Because Last Crusade was 88 or 89, I think. Or maybe it was 90. But I saw Temple of Doom in the theater, and I was just like, you know, I was a little kid.
Yeah?
And that, pardon my language, but that movie scared the shit out of me as a little kid. It was like, it is like one of the few movies where it like really like scared me. You know, like, because especially as someone who like thought Indiana Jones was so cool, but really, like
it's so weird too because
when like it's like the weirdest thing. It's like as a little kid when Indiana Jones like becomes like evil, and he's like pushing around Short Round. You know, like as a little kid, it's like that's like the scariest part about it.
I mean, you know that movie can creep out. You know what's so weird about Temple of Doom though is it's like this weird juxtaposition of tones because it's like kind of the goofy movie of the. Well, I mean, I don't know. The third one gets pretty goofy too, but like you've got the kid, and then the lady is like definitely kind of ditzy compared to the female leads in the other movies. There's definitely a lot more goofy humor from like the supporting cast, but like it's also like kind of gross and creepy.
Yeah, like the bugs, the monkey brains. Like the reason I read that movie is like that is because. Because Spielberg was going through a divorce at the time, like a bad divorce, and he's probably just like hated the world, probably.
I mean, it's equally like kind of goofy and like really creepy. But I like it.
Kind of
I like
mean-spirited, kind of.
I like it though.
Yeah, now you watch it and it's like, oh,
I like Temple of Doom.
Like.
But that was like, as a kid though, like. For a long time, that was like the only movie I particularly remembered of the trilogy. And then like I rewatched them when I was in high school, and I was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like
it's
Raiders of the Lost Ark, like, oh my gosh. Like I remembered like almost nothing about that movie from when I was a kid. But then like when I was in high school, I just like this movie is like the greatest thing I've ever seen.
It's like basically a perfect movie.
It is a perfect movie.
Yeah, I talk about it a lot where I say, there's from the moment he says like I'm going after that truck. Yeah. It's like it becomes like that's like the moment where it just like becomes the best like one of the best movies ever.
I mean, like and when you're watching it, like it wasn't the first time I watched it, but like I remembered like nothing about it. And like when I revisited it for that first time, it was just like the movie feels like it's about to end like 3 times, and then like something cool happens again.
Yeah.
Like it's just like keep pushing it further and further and further, and like instead of being annoying like when Okami did it, it's awesome.
Yeah. The thing about Raiders of the Lost Ark is the way that it ends, it doesn't end on a big action scene. Like the 2 main characters are like tied up and they can't look at anything that's happening, and basically the bad guys like kill themselves. Really, right? That's what happens. I mean, they just like they just basically set themselves up to be like kill themselves. Which is like it's pretty anticlimactic really. But it works in that movie because it's it's not something you expect. And now you look at it, it's like, after watching this movie that had way too many action scenes, like I thought it would have been way more interesting if if Jungle Cruise like didn't have to have a billion action scenes and just kind of ended on it like an understated scene, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, Corpse 413 says, "Can't say I've ever seen Last Crusade. I feel like it might be bad." No. Last Crusade is amazing. It isn't as like
it's definitely.
I feel like Raiders of the Lost Ark is definitely a little more rough and tumble than Last Crusade, but Last Crusade is, in my opinion, easily Sean Connery's best role.
Well,
like, I mean, you know, I know he's like super iconic as Bond and all, but like, I feel like he is a way better Dr. Henry Jones Sr. than James Bond.
I think as Zane's dad says, it's definitely more family friendly, and like I think it's kind of sad that they kind of make like what's his name, Brody and Sala, like they're kind of like buffoons in it, which I think is a little.
Brody, it works for him though.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
and I guess like
you
Sala's
really
like
saw
always
so
kind of
little
like
of him in the first movie anyway.
Right.
Sala, yeah. I mean, you know, maybe he wasn't handled as well as he was in the first, but Last Crusade is good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Absolutely.
And like it's got that, you know, just that good old, you know, Steven Spielberg sort of scene direction where, you know, there's just a lot of fun things happening all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I one of my favorite parts is when his dad said, "Son, I've got something to tell you." And he goes, "Dad, not now. The floor's on fire, and the curtains, and the chair."
It's been a long time since I've seen it. I should watch it again.
It's good.
I've been trying to get my son to watch it, like at least Raiders, because I do want to like specifically watch their faces when they end the movie when the ending of Raiders happens, but also you know, just we watched The Mummy, the what is it?
I haven't seen that in so long.
Mummy. It's like the first Mummy is really really good.
I don't know if I've ever seen that not on VHS.
Oh really? I saw that movie in the theater twice. I liked it so much, and I think it really holds up well. Not sure if The Mummy Returns like holds up very well, but that first one is very very good.
I should rewatch it. I see Vanessa, I believe, shares an opinion in common with us that Timothy Dalton is the best Bond.
Yeah, just because Living Daylights is my favorite. You know.
I mean, it feels weird.
He wasn't around long enough to make a bad one.
Yeah, I mean,
which maybe should be the practice. Like you do two movies as Bond.
I do kind of agree with that. I mean, it really is such a shame that he wasn't in more movies. I actually watched at some point last year. I watched License to Kill, just randomly. I was like, I haven't seen that in a long time. I know it's not considered one of the better ones, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
Living Daylights is definitely up there for me too, though.
Yeah, I was just like the ending part where they're like hanging out the back of the plane with the bags full of, bags full of like cocaine stuff. Or something. Is that what it is? Or something. Maybe there's money in it. I don't know what there's in it.
It doesn't matter. It's the MacGuffin.
Yeah. I found the statue. I have the statue. What do I do with it now?
I see Tom T17 saying Timothy Dalton's best role is Hot Fuzz, which is, I mean, that movie definitely made me respect his versatility as an actor for sure, because he is amazing in that movie.
He was also the bad guy in The Rocketeer.
Yeah, which I don't think I've seen that since I saw it in the theater.
It's better than you remember. I promise you, it's better than you remember.
Oh, I remember liking it, but I mean, I was a kid, you know. I mean, why wouldn't I have liked it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been meaning to revisit it.
I gotta put the statue in here. Yeah, the Rocketeer is good. I think I have it on Blu-ray.
Oh, you don't have it on your Voodoo, do you?
I might, but if I don't, I'll get it.
Oh, Warren Hoagie with $2. Thank you. Saying getting back into the 3DS. What's a hidden gem? You know, something I haven't played.
Hidden gems are usually games that that are good that people don't know about.
Yes.
I'm just saying, like that is
It is what a hidden gem is. You know, something that I've only played the demo of, but like seemed really promising. And actually, I bought this at I bought it from Ian Ferguson at Long Island Retro Gaming Expo. I bought Ever Oasis. It seems interesting. I'm gonna bring up my backloggery and look through my 3DS collection to see if anything else jumps out as a hidden gem. I haven't played much of it. I mean, it could get really boring for all I know, but it seems interesting. It does have a demo. Assuming
I'd have to look
demos are still up on the eShop, I don't know why they wouldn't be.
When I think of a system that I'm like unlikely to like go back and like revisit anytime soon, the 3DS feels like one of those systems.
I mean, I've played a 3DS game here and there over the past couple of years. Just like I said, Fire Emblem Echoes was really good. I mean, I make an effort to play some 3DS games every now and then, just because it's like I agree, it is a system I don't feel likely to pick up and play just because I want to play that system. You know what I mean? But it's like, well, there's these games that I do want to play for it, and I don't want, you know, I feel like I'll be more likely to play them sooner than later, so I kind of make an effort to when I can. Let's see, what else would be a hidden gem?
We almost did a video a long time ago. We had like a portion of us, like ideas, like in a script, where we wanted to do a parody of hidden gem videos, but when you say it with an accent, you say hidden gem. So we were looking for games with characters named Jim who were hidden.
Yeah, like Jim.
Yeah.
I remember when I came across a character named Jim, just a random NPC in Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Yeah, hidden
gems.
And
I like actually found like sometime in the past year or so, I just stumbled across the clip. Like I recorded a clip. Yeah, for potential B-roll.
It's crazy though. That's like a real video that we wanted to make.
That was a real video we wanted to make.
Like we had a script document for it, and like we just
recorded at least one clip of a hidden gem.
It's funny to think about it on that.
It is right? Funny to think about. It is funny to think about. It's actually really funny.
So yeah, it's
never.
Obviously, it didn't happen, but you never know. Maybe one day. If you're okay with download games, Pushmo, just Pushmo. I think there actually might be a couple of them. I'm not sure if there's only one. That's like a download only game, and then it might be from HAL. Oh yeah, it's Pushmo and Pulmo
and Box Boy. Box Boy was also HAL. Those are pretty good little puzzle games. If puzzle games suit ya. Yeah, looking at my 3DS list, those are some of the the hidden-ish gems, but maybe not the most ultra hidden. I mean, I'm pretty sure my favorite 3DS game is Kirby Planet Robobot. So good. So good.
There's a $5 from Container 7 saying $5 for hidden gems. And there's also $2 from Warren Hokie saying do a hidden gym/gym video for April 1st. That seems a little. If you have it say gym and gym, like GYM, it almost feels more possible. Ooh, I mean, get the
I don't hear the difference. I mean,
well, yeah, but you can say gym like as in the name gym, or gym like gymnasium.
I know, but when you say like JIM, GYM, and GEM, I don't hear the difference in any of them.
Well, I say hidden gem. That's like how I really say it.
So say GEM first and then JIM second.
Gym.
I can hear the difference, but I can't process how you make the distinction. I would just say Jim and Jim. But that's me. That's me. Another one, I remember thinking of this one for...
Ooh.
I remember thinking of this one for the video. In Kirby Superstar... and then they brought this power back in some of the more recent games. I think anyway. Did they? It might have been completely replaced by Whip. I'm kind of forgetting now.
Whip?
But I'm almost positive that Yo-Yo is in Star Allies, I think.
I have the statue for mine.
But the character, the enemy that you can turn into a friend for the yo-yo power is his name is spelled GIM, and I've never known whether it's Jim or Gim, but he could definitely be a hidden gem.
Yes, it can be anything that sounds like it could be close to Jim. Maybe we can do, and then you can even put like, could you put like BIM? It's, it's short for Bimmy from the, the Double Dragon mistranslation, Jimmy and Bimmy. Mm-hmm. So it could be, you could say BIM.
But he's those are main characters. They can't be hidden gems.
That's true. There's like straight up front and center. That's right. That's true. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking.
They have to be NPCs.
Yeah. I don't know. They could also just be hidden on the corner of the map. My big contribution, I think, that I wanted to do was to like obscure Jim Raynor from StarCraft. Like have him like maneuver his car ship thing like behind something. Like, oh, there's a hidden Jim right there. It's a hidden Jim Raynor.
I guess we could have to expand it to playable characters, because I know that you would never allow the video to be done without jumping Jim Rivers.
That's true. That's very true. Well, he's
I'm pretty sure he's your favorite.
When Jumpin' Jim Rivers gets too many soil samples, he becomes hidden.
That's right. He's soil sampled so far you can't even see him. He's so far underground that you can't see him anymore. Can you just imagine falling off his bike and he keeps falling into just dive straight to the dirt.
Yeah,
you can't see him no more, so he's in.
I mean, it sounds believable to me. I would. Yeah, there's no way we could have a hidden Jim video without Jim Rivers, and that gets a soil sample, sound sample. That is like one of my favorite things is the announcer in Excitebike 64. I feel like we're in rare form tonight. Like it's kind of joking.
Yeah, some we've been having a lot of fun with on the backloggery the past couple of streams. So there, and this might actually be something for the future of our streams that could be fun because so you know how Dave on his stream has like the jumbo cactuar and he's got all these like things that pop up.
Yeah.
Well, he uses a thing called Mix It Up.
Oh, yeah. I saw you talking to Duke about that. Or him talking to Duke about that. And it's like a thing.
Yeah, so I relayed that to Drum because I never bothered to ask Dave how he does that. And so Drum kind of got really into it.
Oh,
and
really?
So we've been coming up with like all of these different like voice clips and little video clips that we could have pop up on Twitch streams. So we've been like thinking like, oh, what are some things? Well, he just like did a bunch of random ones like he has it like if someone spins bits on congratulations or whatever, it plays various random clips, and one of them was this like announcer that like it was called like bingo, ha 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 ha.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what is that from? And he's like, well, it's a game you've played. And like we were talking like when it played back on the stream, we were talking and we were like between runs of Metal Slug X, and like I was like, what is it? He said it's N64. He said it's a racing game. And I thought, well, Luigi popped in my head because Luigi, one of his things, like if he hits a character with an item in Mario Kart 64, he goes bingo, oh ho, ho, ho.
Mm-hmm.
And like I thought like, oh, like maybe his voice sounded weird because we were talking over it, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I was like, oh, Luigi? And Trump just started dying because it definitely does not sound like Luigi, but it is a thing Luigi says.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it turns out it's like from F-Zero X, and I like don't remember. It's the announcer at F-Zero X. I don't remember that. Like, I don't think it must not happen during like normal races. Like maybe it's the it might be like the battle mode where you like knock. I forget what the mode is called. There's a mode where you like knock other racers off the track.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like I never thought it was
doing
very
that stupid
fun.
Spin move.
Yeah, I never liked that mode, so I never played much of it. So maybe that's why I don't remember that voice clip. But we sort of died over the idea, thought that I thought that was Luigi. I mean, I didn't think it sounded like Luigi, but I thought, well, maybe it just didn't sound like Luigi because of circumstances. So now he was saying he was going like maybe add an actual pitched down Luigi version of that.
This is like excruciating here making these jumps.
Well, James McLeod, that is a hidden gem.
Yeah. So hidden that he's like disappeared into a black hole. That's a good one. We would probably
so hidden that he was racing an F-Zero and his son didn't even know it.
Yes. That's a good one though. Maybe this video will still happen.
No, I know, Joe. I know that Luigi does that. I usually play as Luigi in Mario Kart 64. I believe me, I know what Luigi says. I just missed the tone on how it was said. Sandy, what do I have here?
I grabbed the statue.
What
I don't know
do
what
I
I'm
have?
supposed to do here.
Come up here. Come here, Sandy. I don't have anything. She was looking at my hand funny. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, so let's just go ahead and find the statue that Mayor Grady mentioned. I got the statue. Did I not pick it up?
I have nothing.
Did I literally go all the way in here and not get the statue I was supposed to get?
You have to go back to the mines for some reason?
Yeah, I had to get a statue, and I could have sworn I got it. And I don't know what's happening. Nobody's acknowledging that I have it. But I'm pretty sure that I have it. Unless I didn't pick it up for some reason.
Ooh, Arc Luna has a good idea. Start off by cutting the grass in Zelda and collect some hidden gems.
There you go. See, now I feel like everyone has way better ideas than we would have ever had. So it's like,
of course, those are actual literal GEMS.
Yeah.
Well, so you could say these are hidden gems. But what about the unsung hidden gems?
Yeah.
Like this guy from Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Yeah. I'm glad you still have the clip though.
I'd probably have more trouble finding it again than I would just popping in the game and going back and getting it.
Yeah.
Because I remember more or less where he was.
I don't know. What am I supposed to do here? I have the statue. Oh, do I have to equip it? No? I don't know what the Brocha serum does. What's the Brocha serum do? Alright, I'm gonna head back to town and get ready to wrap it up. I have to get up real early tomorrow morning and go to work for a little bit, or to go on a shoot tomorrow morning drive 2.5 hours tomorrow morning.
But you'll be back home in the evening.
Oh, I'll be back home before my kids are out of school. I gotta drive 2 hours. The shoot's probably gonna take 20 minutes, and then I'll be back here, drive 2 hours back.
Isn't Solidus Snake's real name, or I don't really know, maybe it's not his real name, his alias that he used?
The president.
Jim?
Yeah.
I think so.
What's his name? James. He's like James something, right?
I think so.
He's the president.
Yeah.
People are putting us back on this idea now. Like maybe now is the time, right? This is all we needed to do. We didn't want to say it ever before because we're like, oh, I don't want anybody to take the idea. Like anybody's gonna take this idea and make this video. Like, oh, like anyone else is gonna say, this is a video I want to make. You know. But maybe we should now. Oops. I need to go in there. That's my next.
George Sears, yeah, but wasn't. Sears. Oh, maybe it was the Secretary of Defense that was the Jim then.
It was Decoy Octopus.
Maybe Decoy Octopus could have been any gem he wants.
Yeah. You know, if you notice, it's interesting that the RP, the ring power, the maximum you can get is 255.
Oh, was the DARPA chief a gem? The DARPA chief was Sigint.
Yeah, but what was Sigint's real name?
I don't remember if we ever found out. Probably.
Jim
Hausman. That was it. Jim Hausman's the Secretary of Defense in Metal Gear Solid 1. Thomas Lugo says...
okay. What was it? The DARPA chief's Donald Anderson.
That's
was
right.
sickening.
Yeah.
I just remember the Colonel Campbell saying Donald Anderson.
Thomas Lugo says, thanks for the stream, Coury and Try and chat. Appreciate the company. Had a ton of fun tonight. Always look forward to these. Well, thank you.
Thanks. Kenneth Baker. I thought Kenneth Baker was one of them too. Baker. Well, level 8. Looks like the maximum level is 12.
Really? So you've...
Top of towers. No, these are the... Yeah, I'm pretty far through.
Well, you should...
I don't know why
You should definitely try to finish it soon.
Yeah.
Before you forget what you were doing.
Look at this. Here's like... I can fight the last boss here in this other...
Where? Are you headed toward the last boss?
No, this is another save that was on the cartridge.
Oh, that was on the cart. Snake's real name is Harb.
Oh, look at this! Look at this! This is the last boss battle. I guess I'm in.
Oh, this looks awesome.
Yeah, right? At least the people who had this game before,
At least they got here,
Yeah.
Okay, I can't decide if the actual background on the boss fight itself looks cool, though. It looks maybe a little bad.
Like the rocks, though. It's like kind of choppy, and then it's like just chaos. It looks like. Wait, maybe I'm gonna see if I can just beat the game.
I bet this looks better on Super Nintendo. Like, this looks like something that Super Nintendo would do really well.
Yeah. Jeez. I died. This music, it rips hard. Let's see what this other one is. So that's the top of tower and Demonicus Cave. The intensity.
Jimmy Saint, NPC, and Red Dead Redemption. Couldn't say I remember them, but I actually did have Red Dead Redemption booted up earlier today.
Oh, dude, look at this background.
Mm-hmm.
Looks really good.
I'm waiting to see. It's black.
Exactly, I know. It's impressive, right?
It looks as good as you imagine it to be.
I mean, the background could literally be anything you want it to be. It's like it's just as detailed as it is in my mind right now. Oh, look at the flame sword. This is the final. The Banded Slayer. That's like a way cooler weapon name. The Banded Slayer. But all right.
Yeah, you need to finish this soon.
Yeah, I will. Oh, we got $5 from Robert Carlson, my grandfather. Thank you. Should make a Google Doc for us to crowdsource hidden gem location. We want to see this video happen. I could do that. I will share it privately. So I see James Schindler in there is saying James Hetfield Metallica is playable in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD through a DLC pack, if that counts. Yeah, I could see that being definitely counting. That's the online one though. That's the digital only one. It's not the remaster. I don't think they even sell that anymore. But speaking of James Hetfield, I mentioned how I saw Jungle Cruise yesterday, and it's just really weird that that Nothing Else Matters, like the Metallica song Nothing Else Matters, is like a prominent theme throughout this movie. It takes place in 1912, but it's just the instrumental portion of the music. I don't even understand like what the deal is with them using this Metallica song like an instrumental rendition of this song like as a key theme in this movie. It's kind of weird. I don't know.
It would have been completely lost on me.
Yeah, but I was like, why are they gonna? Is it gonna like build up to something? But it doesn't. They just use an instrumental version of Nothing Else Matters. I don't know. Anyways, thank you to everybody who hung out and everybody who donated. Everything. It was great. It was a fun night.
Yep.
It was a rendition of the song. It wasn't the actual Metallica song, but it was. I mean, it was the song, but it was not. It was a rendition of the song. I just thought it was weird that was the key theme in the movie. Anyways, we will. We'll see you next week. You're making the big push to maybe get this projectors video out. Like you said, by this time next week, you said I would like to be done with it.
That's my goal. I can't say for sure that'll be. I'm feeling optimistic. I've got a good pace with it.
Yeah.
So I would like that to be the case.
Yeah.
Like my dream is to get it out next Monday.
That could be cool. That'd be pretty exciting. I think people would be into that. I'd be into that. I'm excited to see it.
I'm really happy with how it's coming together because I just feel like it's so easy to make it like the projectors and the actual screen and stuff look just visually interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. You were joking earlier. It's like people are gonna like watch this and they're gonna say, "Why is your house so dusty?" But it's just because the way that the light shines out of the projector, you just see dust in front of it no matter what.
Yeah. But
it makes for a very cool look, I think.
It does look cool. Hopefully people like lens flare.
Yeah. And it's all natural lens flare. It's not.
Yeah, it's not.
No effects at all. It just looks pretty cool.
It's the real deal.
So I assume that like it's just become like it's a fun thing to shoot at the same time.
It is fun to shoot. I've been enjoying myself.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, have a good birthday tomorrow.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. All right, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
I don't know if I can find out where my mouse is. There we go.